This service is provided in high definition by freeconferencecallhd.com. You are the only participant in the conference. Q&A session has started. The recording has started.
The views expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at TalkRealSolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of TalkRealSolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not TalkRealSolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
Okay, so there we go. All right. Welcome to the show. This is Talk Real Solutions, and I am your host tonight, Tyrone Thompson, and I want to thank you for tuning in. Today is May the 11th, 2023, and I want to invite you to go to TalkRealSolutions.com, and on there we have the, say it with me, 3-point plan to Black empowerment and financial freedom. It has 3 points. The first point is to get together with like-minded people. The second point is to stop all unnecessary spending and save your money. The third point is, as a unit, invest or save your money in a verified and trusted institution. A great goal will be for you to open a Black-owned business, and right above it, we have a link to African-American-owned banks and credit unions. We could all start moving our money to these institutions to start practicing group economics today. And check out the rest of the links and articles on the website. That's where we will be getting the news stories from tonight, if we get around to them. And you can follow along there. You can follow along on YouTube, or you can follow along on Facebook as I post the links. And you can also join the conversation by dialing the number that's in the description box or on the screen there. It's 717-908-1834. And then the access code is 917-324. You can join the conversation. And y'all know me, I will let you in to give your opinion about whatever topic we're talking about. Or you can give your own thoughts on whatever you're thinking about. You know me. But if we are in the news stories, I suggest you stick to what the topic is at the time, because we will move on to another news story if that's what we're doing at the time. But other than that, it's pretty open conversation over here about whatever opinion. Just be prepared, because I am a biological fact checker. So if you bring some BS, just be prepared to be corrected if it's wrong. But if you're on point, you won't hear a word from me, because I like to give out truthful information and ensure that we're trying to at least get some type of educated discussion out there, instead of a whole bunch of this craziness that we hear when it comes to conspiracies and all this kind of crap that people hold on to. Other than that, here we are again, Thursday. But this has been a busy news cycle week, I guess, as far as politics is concerned. Well, a couple of weeks, actually. The first week, I told y'all about Dan Bongino getting fired from Fox News. And then the week after that, we heard Tucker Carlson got fired from Fox News. And then this week, we got a registered well, a person who needs to register as a sex offender. Oh my goodness. We need to have the ex-president of the United States of America go ahead and register as a sex offender. Can y'all believe that? Can y'all believe that Donald Trump has been found liable of sexual abuse in a court of law? So we've been getting some good news these past couple of weeks. You know, before that, Donald Trump, where my Facebook page at? Hold on for a second. Before that, Donald Trump, he got those 30 financial accounts. He got those 30 financial charges in New York. So this guy is just turning out to be all kinds of criminals. Going to court, losing. And now he has to register as a sex offender. Can y'all believe that Donald Trump is a sexual abuser? The same guy that promoted the COVID conspiracies. The same guy that run around here and said that said the election was a fraud. That's the same guy, you know. And I want to do my public service and make this announcement. So if you look at your screen there, I want you to know that at Mar-a-Lago, we now have a sex offender registered at Mar-a-Lago in Florida. And if he gets out of hand or shows up wherever wherever he ain't supposed to, y'all know that we got a registered sex offender in Mar-a-Lago. So I'm just doing a public service announcement, letting y'all know that this guy that lives here is a sexual abuser, and his name is Donald J. Trump. He is the former president of the United States of America, and he liked grabbing women by their vaginas without their permission. And now the courts have actually spoken and told America that at Mar-a-Lago address there, we got a registered sex offender that he probably need to check in every so often because he's a registered sex offender. This ain't nothing that Tyrone said. A civil court said that this man sexually abused the woman with a jury of his peers. 12 different individuals looked at the evidence, examined what was put before them, and came up with the determination that Donald Trump is liable for sexually abusing an individual. So that's important. Because I mean, she's not the only one over time that Donald Trump has abused or sexually abused. And I just Googled it. It looked like there's 26 more women that has accused Donald Trump of grabbing them by the private parts. There has not been the court, maybe the statute of limitations has ran out for these women or whatever. But oh Lord, hold on. I think my computer moving slow. I was trying to pull them up, but it ain't showing any pictures. Yeah, I can't get to their pictures. But my point is that this guy that has created this cult, this political cult in America that claims that he's the okay, here we go. Let me do this first. You know, I'm trying to kill some time, so I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna share with y'all how many people this sex offender actually. All right, so this is, I don't know, ABC News, and this is a list of Donald Trump's and their accusers and their allegations against for sexual misconduct. And it's Jessica Leeds. She testified in this latest thing. It said Jessica Leeds alleged that Trump groped her on an airplane in 1970. All right, that's Jessica Leeds. Here is Christine Anderson. Anderson told the Washington Post that Trump put his hand up her skirt to her underwear in the early 1990s. You know, he really believed him grabbing him by the vagina. Jill Hart said Trump had dinner with her and then boyfriend George Horney in 1992 when Trump allegedly put his hands between her legs. She alleged he also tried to kiss her during a tour at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida a month later. And when Horney were there to celebrate solidifying a business contract. Kathy Hiller, the first spokesman for the Guardian newspaper about an alleged incident she said happened at Mother's Day brunch at Mar-a-Lago. She repeated her claims to ABC News and said she believes it happened in 1997. Temple Target McDowell was 21-year-old Miss Utah. She participated in Miss USA contest in 1997. She said Trump, who owned the pageant at that time, kissed her directly on the lips. Karina, Virginia. Jesus Christ. Okay, Bridget Sullivan. I'm just going to go through the names. Tasha Dixon. Who is this? Mindy McGilvery. Rachel Crooks. Natasha Stoyanoff. I think she actually testified in E. Jean Carroll's trial. Jennifer Murphy. Jessica Drake. Nene, I can't say her name. It must be some foreign lady. Summer Zervos. She's Russian. Cassandra Sears. E. Jean Carroll, there she go. She just won $5 million. Amy Doris. That's all we got for right now of Donald Trump grabbing these women by their vagina. And he got found liable in civil court for sexual abuse and defamation, and has to pay E. Jean Carroll about $5 million. Now, the reason that I'm emphasizing this stuff is because our politics over the last couple of years, about 10 years, have been based around the ideas of this sexual abuser. Our politics, when it comes to our political system and how it works, and whether we trust the politics and elections and all that kind of stuff, it's been based around this sexual abuser. Whenever the world got hit with a pandemic, this sexual abuser gave the advice to this country, which was terrible advice, allowing for millions of people to die under his watch. This sexual abuser. This sexual abuser have actually taken over the Republican Party. And now policies are getting made by a criminal sexual abuser. A criminal, by the way. He's been indicted on his financial charges and his business has been held liable for committing crimes. And a sexual abuser, how he's been civilly held accountable for defamation and sexual abuse in the E. Jean Carroll case. This sexual abuser has actually torn down the pillars of our society when it comes to political discourse. We can't even have a conversation from different sides of the spectrum without it being a argument, a disagreement, or I hate you, or whatever, right? We can't even have a conversation about things that we should be able to come together on. For instance, right now at our southern border, there's migrants trying to come into this country. And if they come into the country, it's going to affect all Americans, left or right, right? As Americans, we should be able to come together and have a discussion about what to do or how to handle the influx of migrants that is coming to this country. But we can't, because of this sexual abuser's mentality. When he first came into first started running for office, what was the first thing he said? That Mexicans are criminals and they come across the border, they're rapists and they're murderers and all this kind of stuff, right? That's the position of the right. Right? So that's the only way that they know how to have a conversation about the immigrant crisis that we're having right now in this country is from the perspective of a sexual abuser, by demonizing those humans and blaming it on the other side and blaming it on the Democrats. That's the only way. If I talk to Sarge right now about the migrant crisis at the southern border, I guarantee you, before he got 3 words out of his mouth, he would blame the Democrats because of the crisis. But wait. I want y'all to pay attention to this, right? Tonight, Title 42 will be lifted. So I don't want to get nothing wrong, so we can go over this together. Okay, Title 42, it says it right here, is expulsion or removal by the U.S. government of persons who have recently been in a country where communicable diseases were present. The extent of the authority for contagion-related expulsion is set out by the law 42 U.S. Code 256. So Title 42 was a measure put in place during the pandemic because they didn't want immigrants coming across the border that may possibly have coronavirus or COVID into the country. And now the right wing was looking at that as a way to curtail the migration into America by using this Title 42 law. And now that the pandemic is over and Title 42 has ran its time period for existence, right? It's gonna expire tonight. And there was a big old debate about whether it should be left in place to hold up the migrants that's coming across the southern border, or should it be lifted and try to manage the situation through the regular processes, right? But here's what I want to point out by Title 42 and what's going on in our southern border. If you put, okay, listen, if you, when you was president, put a stop or curtailed the migration of immigrants at the border with a law called Title 42, then that meant that those immigrants was not going to stop coming north. They were going to still continue to come north, but because of the coronavirus law, they would have had to wait, or just, they migrated, so it created a bottleneck. Listen to me, because this is the problem going on at the southern border right now. Donald Trump created a bottleneck of migrants coming north because of Title 42, right? But the way you hear it talked about on right-wing radio is they're coming across the border because Joe Biden is letting immigrants in. That is not what happened, because there was migration going on before Donald Trump. And when Donald Trump got into office, Stephen Miller came up with this racist ass plan because of coronavirus to stop or curtail the migration, which creates a bottleneck of migrants. And now who's left to deal with it? The Biden administration. See, y'all don't think it's just like whenever he was coming out of Afghanistan. Everybody said that Biden screwed that up coming out of Afghanistan and all that kind of stuff. But what you're not talking about is the policy that Donald Trump, when he met with the Taliban, with those terrorists at Camp David, and agreed that he had 300 days, I think it was, to remove the United States troops from Afghanistan. That was the president of the United States sitting down with terrorists, making that agreement. Now that 300 days came and went, but by the time Joe Biden got in office, he had to abide by what the United States had agreed to under Trump and get our troops out of Afghanistan. And that's why it was so messy. Because Donald Trump met with fucking terrorists, told them that we was going to get out of Afghanistan, and we had a certain date to do it. And by the time Joe Biden got in office, he had to fucking get them out of there. That's why it was messy. Same thing that's going on at the southern border. Donald Trump put this damn Title 42 into place. Now there's a backup or bottleneck of migrants that's coming across the southern border. And now the United States have to deal with it. But I don't know why that if somebody like me can figure out what happened and why this crisis is going on right now at the southern border, why ain't the mainstream media just saying it that simple? Because that's what's going on. Instead of letting Fox News and others just create this narrative of how somehow or another Joe Biden has got the southern border open and these people are just running across the border. No, that ain't what happened. We seen it happen. We got a fucking law right there that paused some of the immigration, Title 42, and that meant some people couldn't come across the border, maybe because they didn't have a COVID test, or maybe they haven't been, I don't know, but they paused these people coming across the border. And now that Title 42 is lifted, then now you got a big old influx of people coming across the border. But this is a Trump fucking mess that they're blaming on the Biden administration. But that's just me, you know, because I'm a logical thinker. That's what I always do. That's what I've did all my life, is I think things through. But the narrative is somehow or another, the Biden is letting these people in. As a matter of fact, you can put part of the blame on Fox News, because every time you turn on Fox News, they are reporting that our southern borders are open. On a national news show, they're saying that the southern border is open. The Biden administration opened the southern border. So if you're a foreign person and you're hearing a news outlet saying that this president opened the borders, you're taking the signal, hey, the borders is open, and you're going to bring your ass across the damn border. That's Fox News doing that. We ain't never had no open borders. You know, there's always been a way to apply for asylum, but we've never had no open borders, right? So I blame the right wing. I blame Trump administration for whatever is getting ready to go on at the southern border with all those immigrants, you know. And I think that they caused this chaos on purpose. Just like whenever the debt, raising the debt limit, they want the economy to crash. They want the migrants to rush that border, and Kevin McCarthy wants the economy to crash so they can point to the Democrats and see it and say, you know, they're in charge. They're the ones screwing the economy, when we ain't never had any type of stipulations on raising the damn debt limit up under Donald Trump. And now all of a sudden, the Republicans want to put stipulations on raising the fucking debt, the debt limit, because they want it to crash. They want to, because they don't know how to govern. because they don't know how to come up with their own policies. The only way they know how to do any type of politics is by demonizing and destroying the other side at the cost of us, the Americans. They don't care. They'll burn it down just to make the other side look bad. We see that over and over again. They don't care. This is why I can't fuck with them damn Republicans. Because they're following a fucking sex abuser. This ain't my words. A court of law, a civil court said that Donald Trump is a sexual abuser. And that's who you're following. That's who you're following. And if you looked at his deposition, he's not even backing away from it. He's doubling down on that Access Hollywood audio when he said he's gonna grab women by the vagina. As a matter of fact, the right wing is so prevalent in this country that CNN, because Fox is going through their little fucking turmoil, they're trying to become the new Fox. Because they had a town hall meeting with Donald Trump last night. I didn't watch it. I've been watching clips of it all day on YouTube because everybody's talking about this shit. And he's just as big of a fucking dummy as he's always been, right? He's on there denying the 2020 election. He's on there saying that he's going to pardon the January 6th insurrectionists, the treasonous people that broke the law. He's going to pardon them. He's on there demonizing E. Jean Carroll when he just got accused of sexual abuse the day before. Got found liable for sexual abuse the day before. He's on there supporting Putin. He's on CNN is not even. I don't know why they're going the way that they're going. Well, I do know, because Fox News have touched racist white America, and they have actually touched that 76% or whatever they are, and CNN want a piece of that white hate, and they're to get their ratings up, right? And since Fox News is falling down a little bit, CNN is trying to step in the void and promote some of this white hate. And that's how they're gonna get their ratings up. That's exactly what they're doing. Which makes CNN this. I was all right with CNN, but when they fired Don Lemon, Don Lemon, he's kind of. He's in your face and all that kind of stuff, but he didn't do nothing to get fired about. There is nothing that Don Lemon did to fire him from CNN. Nothing, no more than what anybody else do. But when they fired Don Lemon, that kind of gave me an indication that, we don't need this black perspective on this show. And not only that, for years, the right has been talking about how Don Lemon needs to get removed. The right has been, Tucker Carlson been talking about Don Lemon. Everybody on the right been talking about Don Lemon because Don Lemon was calling Donald Trump out. He was calling the right-wing extremists out. And he was calling out all of these people. And he was talking about racism on that show. And CNN now, they can't have that. They can't have somebody with a black perspective on their show, so they had to get rid of him. And then they pull this dumb shit where they invite a sexual abuser, a treasonous insurrection supporting, two-time impeached, grab him by the vagina. They invite this motherfucker on to have a town hall with the audience filled with his supporters. So CNN is trying to be Fox. CNN is trying to be Fox, and fuck them. They full of shit because they put a racist on there, and they think that that's what the American people want to see. It might be what the American people want to see because they're fucking racist, but the truth be told, Donald Trump is not good for anyone in this damn country. If y'all looked at, well, I only saw clips, but if you looked at his demeanor last night, if you looked at what he was saying last night, this man do not need to be nowhere near any type of power, because he supports Vladimir Putin. He wants Ukraine to lose their democracy. He's in the bed with China. His son-in-law got $2 billion from the fucking Saudis. He stole classified documents to sell to other countries. I mean, the list goes on and on about why Donald Trump should not be. He don't know anything about our Constitution. He breaks the laws. He used his pardon powers to pardon criminals. Donald Trump is the biggest piece of shit president that this country has ever had. And what pisses me off so much about Donald Trump is that he has a way to stay in the news 24/7 for 6 fucking years. And here I am again talking about this son of a bitch. So Donald Trump is good at that. There has not been a day when Donald Trump has not made the fucking headlines. Do y'all realize that? And whether you agree with it or not, that is worth something. He know how to keep his fucking name, his orange fucking ass in the news every fucking day. When we got mass shootings and children dying in this country, Donald Trump is the fucking headline. When you got racist motherfuckers just blowing motherfuckers up with AK-47s, Donald Trump is the fucking headline. We about to go into a fucking debt crisis and Donald Trump is the fucking headline. So he's good at that. I don't know how the hell he do it, but he stays in the fucking headline for 7 fucking years. That piece of shit. Now, I hope that whenever Fannie Willis and Jack Smith complete their investigations, that he get held accountable or is penalized in some way that is noticeable, right? And I was just talking to Howard earlier, and we was talking about the E. Jean Carroll case, and I said, Howard, check this out. Even though that lady won, right? Think about it. Whenever it comes to rape accusations or sexual abuse accusations, normally, in the normal process of things, that is a criminal charge. I can't think of a sexual abuse or a rape case that has ever been civil. But I understand the dynamics behind what's going on with E. Jean Carroll, because the statute of limitations that ran out and New York came up with this laws that said people that's been abused can, sue people civilly but not criminally. So I understand that whole dynamic. But the point that I was trying to make is normally whenever it comes to those type of violent crimes, it's criminal and not civil. But Donald Trump happened to be the one motherfucker that get held liable civilly for fucking sexual assault and has to pay $5 million of Sarge's money and ABC's donations. You're gonna go to E. Jean Carroll. It's ridiculous that this man can steadily just skate by. That's a crime. You can't freaking assault nobody sexually and not pay a penalty and get invited to CNN so they can kiss your ass on a national damn news show. That's ridiculous. So when Fannie Willis, because we had the phone call where Donald Trump is asking for 11,000 votes. That's against the goddamn law, right? Trying to interfere with Georgia's election. And we got Jack Smith with the documents, right? He's investigating that, and he's investigating January the 6th. Now, with the January the 6th thing, whenever the Oath Keepers was charged with seditious conspiracy, they said that they was doing it for Donald Trump. And then the Proud Boys argument was the same thing. When they got charged with seditious conspiracy, they was doing it for Donald Trump. And there was some more people that was January the 6th saying that they was doing it for Donald Trump. Right? Now, if they work their way up the ladder correctly, they will hold some of these politicians that was promoting January the 6th accountable, and then they will get to Donald Trump, which was the person that was in charge of the thing, right? And that's why Fannie Willis is doing it the way she's doing it, because you can't, that's the way reason she's doing the RICO charges, because that charges the whole organization, the whole structure. So she's going to have to include Donald Trump into her charges in Georgia. But the way Jack Smith is doing it, probably going to charge individuals with crimes and all that kind of stuff, right? And whenever you get to Donald Trump and he say, okay, Donald Trump, you guilty of seditious conspiracy, that's going to be hard to prove for a former president. And he's going to have evidence and show connections and all that kind of bullshit. So that's going to be harder to prove. I wish there was a federal way to do RICO so you can see that this activity, what resulted was because this organization put this plan together, and this is why you seen that crime that happened on January the 6th, you know. But I know that's getting into the weeds a little bit. But my point is, Donald Trump has now been guilty of 30 crimes, or got charged with 30 crimes of financial fraud in New York from Alvin Bragg's, right? And he's been held civilly liable for sexual assault on E. Jean Carroll. Now, the thing about E. Jean Carroll is these people, well, when I called Sarge the other day, right after the verdict, you know, because, you know, I wanted to gloat a little bit. I shouldn't have did that. That was a big mistake. I don't know, but I had the urge to call Sarge and rub it in his face. And I did call him, and he didn't answer the phone. And after he didn't answer the phone, I'm like, well, shit, I'm glad he didn't, because the answer machine picked up. I said, shit, I'm glad he didn't answer the damn phone, so I ain't got to talk to him. But 30 minutes later, hey, nigga, what you want to do? Gloat in my face? I like, look, Sarge, let's just come to an agreement that your man got held criminally liable for sexual assault. And when are you going to, like, admit that there's something wrong? There ain't nothing wrong with Donald Trump. She lying. Those people, the jurors was New York and they was Democrat and he couldn't get a fair trial. I said, okay, well, I know where this conversation gonna go. Because Sarge is so stupid that even though, listen, Sarge was a police officer. Listen, he wore a badge. He took an oath to uphold the law, right? He defended the judicial system with his job. That was his career, right? So now that he's involved in politics, when the judicial system play itself out when it pertains to Donald Trump, Sarge get a case of the dumbass. Because that was a jury. That was a jury of Donald Trump's peers that seen the evidence and actually said this man was guilty of sexual assault and defamation. It didn't have nothing to do with no damn politics. It didn't have nothing to do with no Democrats, no left, no right. It didn't have nothing. It was just the law put before the jury's face, and they made a determination that according to the law or whatever guidance they had, that Trump violated these things civilly, and we're going to charge him $5 million in total for this, and this, for defamation, for sexual assault, and all of that. That was the jury that actually did that. And the point that I'm trying to make is that because Sarge is a cult member and he follows Donald Trump, he don't even believe in the justice system no more. He don't believe in the justice system no more. A jury. I mean, I know this justice system is fucked up, but I mean, at least when you got 12 individuals looking at evidence and they come up with a decision, that's the system that we all trust in this country. Hell, that's what makes this country. If you violate a law, your shit get put before fucking on trial, and then it gets before a jury, and people makes a decision whether you're guilty or innocent, right? And that system has failed our community over and over again, and there's no need to dwell on that part. But the part that I'm trying to emphasize in this situation is E. Jean Carroll and her attorneys presented evidence to these 12 people, and they found him liable for sexual assault. So once again, look at your screen, and this is the address of the newest sexual offender in America. And if y'all see that man that lives at Mar-a-Lago, that he needs to register. He needs to be on the registry for sexually offending people, and you need to watch your women. You need to watch your children, because you got a sexual offender that lives at Mar-a-Lago. Okay. Now what else? What else is going on? Okay, so hold on. Oh, there was something going on social media that Howard called me about too. This lady named Ebony, what the fuck is her damn name? Ebony Williams or something like that. Let me see. You know, whenever black people get a hold of something. Ebony K. Williams. Now, this lady, I don't know who she is. I never heard of her. But whenever shit happen in black YouTube, all of a sudden my timeline start getting filled up, and I keep seeing the same name over and over again. And this lady here, Ebony K. Williams, she just kept popping up, Ebony K. Williams. And I'm like, well, fuck, I guess I got to click on her. Who the fuck is she? And everybody mad with Ebony K. Williams. Now, I watched this part where Ebony K. Williams was talking to this lady right here, Yanla Vazant, or whatever her damn name is. And they was having a conversation about women, and somehow or another, the conversation got on about women dating certain type of guys, right? And when this lady with the glasses asked Ebony K. Williams, would you date a bus driver? Ebony K. Williams says, does he own the bus? Which meant, you know, I'm not going to date the bus driver, but if he owned the damn business, you know, he's more in my class. I ain't see nothing wrong with that damn conversation. I didn't see nothing wrong with that conversation. If that lady don't want to date no damn bus driver, she's assessing herself and she's in a certain category, and she don't want a certain category of man. So fuck, she don't want to date the bus driver, but she'll date the goddamn company owner. There's nothing wrong with that. But black YouTube lost their goddamn mind. And I knew it go back to that narrative to where years ago they was having this conversation about black women having to lower their standards because black men wasn't up to par. So black educated women that couldn't find a black educated man needed to lower her standard. or black women that was making X amount of dollars that couldn't find a black man that was making, the same amount or more, she had to lower her standards. And even some women was complaining about that they have to lower their standards. But I don't see nothing wrong with having standards. So the incels and the manosphere and all of these people done lost their damn mind over this Ebony K. Williams thing. Okay, why is P. Diddy kissing Mike Tyson? That's got to be a fake picture. But I don't see nothing wrong with Ebony K. Williams. Just like, I probably wouldn't date nobody like Ebony K. Williams. Or she probably wouldn't date me. But either way, it doesn't matter. Because, move the fuck on. That's what you need to do, is you need to move on. Don't dwell on this shit. Find somebody to make you happy. If this person is not going to make you happy, and the number one reason you can tell that the person that you're talking about is not going to make you happy is because you're talking about them. You're complaining about them. You need to move the fuck on. That's just the bottom line. Go find somebody. There's plenty of motherfuckers on this earth to where you ain't got to dwell on what one motherfucker say that hurt your damn feelings. I don't think that anybody on social media could say anything to hurt my feelings as a black man, as a human being. I don't know. I just can't. But now if it's a personal attack, me directly, then yeah. But if they're just making general statements, I don't know. They making us look bad. They making black, this is why a black man can't get a woman, because you got black women out here saying shit like this. Whatever. Stop crying. And Tyrone using his energy to focus on Trump instead of the president y'all voted for, who locked y'all daddy. Shut the fuck up, ABC. Oh yeah, let's talk about Trump. Well, let's talk about Joe Biden. Now, okay, so, real quick, Jamie Foxx is in the hospital. And the reason I saw that over here with Jamie Foxx, but they ain't got nothing to do with him being in the hospital. And we don't know what's going on with Jamie Foxx. I don't know what's going on with Jamie Foxx. There's a lot of rumors going on with Jamie Foxx. I've heard a rumor that P. Diddy has something to do with it. I heard a rumor that the industry is trying to poison him and kill him. I've heard all kind of rumors, right? But I don't know. I just wish the man well. I think that he's a talented guy. I think that he's very funny. And I don't want anything bad to happen to Jamie Foxx. So I just wish him a speedy recovery or whatever he's going through. I hope he get well soon. See, there's a whole lot of gay conversation about P. Diddy and different. I don't get into that. I don't know why they make videos doing that, but they just do. So, but I just wish Jamie Foxx to get well and leave Ebony K. Williams alone and stop fucking crying. Let's talk about Joe Biden. About 5 years ago, no, I ain't gonna say 5 years ago, at the last presidential election, people were saying that Joe Biden's son had this laptop that was exposing Joe Biden. And when the Republicans got in charge, that they were going to expose Joe Biden. Right? That's what they was going to do. So the Republicans in charge, and it's about 5 years later, and they've been investigating this thing for 5 years, and there's still nothing going on with Joe Biden. So I'm talking about Joe Biden, ABC. And if you look at the screen, these are the headlines of the newspaper, because the Republicans did did a conference, and the New York Times, House Republicans report finds no evidence of wrongdoing by Joe Biden. This is the Hunter Biden laptop. They wasted a whole bunch of goddamn time on this Hunter Biden laptop bullshit telling us that it was going to expose Joe Biden. Now, Hunter Biden is a piece of shit. Okay? Don't get me wrong. I'm not defending Hunter Biden. He's a piece of shit. But the point is that these people are wasting our fucking money feeding fucking lies to people like ABC and Sarge about this freaking conspiracy about the president's son's laptop had ties to China and all this kind of bullshit. And it's been 5 fucking years and they haven't came up with one piece of credible evidence yet. So there we go. I just talked about Hunter Biden. Okay? There's no there. So you guys need to start repeating that bullshit. All right, so that's that. And I guess it's time for me to shut up. If y'all want to call in to the number, just hit 717-908-1834 and I'll open your line. And you can hit 917-324 and I'll get you on the line here. Unknown caller, who is on the line?
What's going on, brother?
What's happening, Jay? What you got, man?
Oh, shit. So you seem accused. Look, man, we gotta give a lot of people talk a lot of stuff about Donald Trump, man. So I'm gonna go to this. Look, we gotta give him his due, man. I know we've been talking about him and all that, but look, let's give this man his props. Look, he's the first president in history, because you know he's big on making history. So we got to give him his due. Let's give it to him now. This man is the first president in history to be found guilty of sexually assaulting a woman, brother. It's number one. Twice impeached, record right there. The first president to try to overturn an election. Huh? I mean, we could go down the line. I hope Sarge is listening and gather up the list, because there's a long list of this man with his situation. Oh, the first president to get indicted in New York, and that's something separate. Now, it might be the first one to, what is it? I don't know if you say treason. What does he fall in the category when he was messing with them documents? So we're gonna see what's happening. But look, let's give this man his dead flowers now. The man has broken records like no other. He probably be. Also, we got. I don't know if he's the first one, but.
Well, Jay, before you go on,
Yeah.
because I want to correct the record, because you know I know how some people is about
Okay.
words, and you said
Right.
that he was found guilty, right? So I'm going to educate y'all. President Trump was found liable instead of guilty. You get found guilty in a criminal crime. And here
Okay.
let me share this with the people. Now, a party is held liable when they are held legally responsible for something. So he was liable in this sexual assault. He did it. But unlike a criminal case where a defendant could be found guilty, a defendant in a civil case risks only liability. So he's still liable. We have to use the word liable, because I know Sarge is going to come on here and say, he wasn't guilty, he was liable. But there really ain't no goddamn difference. He did the shit. So there you go. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, thank you for correcting me, because it was a civil case, but he lost that case. He was not found. They didn't put the rape on him, and maybe you want to say directly, but he was found. That he was held or needed to be held liable for the sexual assault. So I'm just saying this man has broke records. Yesterday, you would have thought the man. And I'm gonna say something. CNN, you did it to yourself. I'm going to give props to that white girl, the young girl, because she, I think, handled him well. in that part. I think she handled him. What happened there though? CNN. I don't know what I know that they you don't do like Donald Trump vetting people to come in, but I mean you set yourself up for failure, and then you showed your audience, or you made a portion of your audience think that that's what people agree with. So I'll say yesterday was an ultimate failure on CNN's behalf. It's starting for me to question CNN and what they're really about. Because I'll say this. Somebody pointed out, I think it was Ari on the beat. He says, yeah, well, guess what? This is what they were doing in 2016. They were bolstering them up. Why would you put this this person on on TV and give them a platform to even say anything? I mean, CNN, shame on you. Again, you're making a lot of people question your moves and what's really your agenda. Are you really Fox News in a cover? I don't know, man. CNN is weird. Then they have them criticize. Yes, I've seen everybody. They had good points, but I'm saying, why you put this guy on? Why were you the first to put him on a town hall? I didn't understand that. If they thought they was going there to bury him, I mean, again, the girl, Caitlin Collins, she did well. I got to give her props. She did. A younger person, she put his ass in check for a lot of things. The thing was, he's over talking. I would have cut his mic. That's another thing. CNN producers, whoever's behind the scenes of the audio, y'all should be fired. I would have been cutting his mic off so he don't talk until she finished what she had to say. Y'all disrespected yourselves, your audience, and your host. I'll leave it there.
It was something about CNN ownership has changed, and the CEO or something, he's a right winger, right? So he started leaning more towards the Fox News audience whenever that takeover happened. And that's all you're gonna. That's how CNN is trying to pander to the Fox News audience, because that CEO changed, and this is what we're gonna see from CNN now, unless something else happens. This guy supports these ideas from Donald Trump and Fox News, so they're going to try to turn themselves into Fox News. And not only that, they want that advertising money. They want that big audience that Fox News had, because Fox News was the #1 cable-rated news show, if you can call them news. And CNN is trying to tap into that. They always beat the other cable news in the ratings, but that's because they pandered to racism and white supremacy. And, that's what the hell CNN is going to do now. And like you said, with them giving him a platform, they're doing the exact same thing that they did when he first ran, which was let this guy talk to the American people. And now, that's why I was pissed off when he first ran, because all of these news outlets tried to prop him up. Morning Joe, they mad as fuck with Donald Trump now, but I remember every fucking morning they would demonize Hillary Clinton and prop damn Donald Trump up. I remember it. I was like, God damn, y'all talking shit now, but y'all won't doing that when Donald Trump was running. It's crazy how these media outlets do, but I think that's what's going on with CNN, is they've been taken over by this right-wing guy. Miss Elisa.
I mean, you seen yesterday.
Welcome to the show, sis. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. How you guys doing?
All right. You got anything to put out?
No. Well, just go over a few of the things that you said. Yes, CNN, they have the new top guy who's running things, and he hasn't been doing the greatest job because they were last in the ratings. So they used Don Lemon as a scapegoat, and they're trying to end. They have been for a minute now. So Don should have seen. I'm sure Don's not stupid. He saw the writing on the wall that it was coming, because they can't keep him around there, because Don Lemon is not the type gonna sit back, just bite his lip with all type of foolishness. I'm not his biggest fan, but some things and he just wasn't gonna be a fit over there. Then Cuomo was gone some time ago after they had to pay him out in a settlement. So they're trying to move to the right, and then especially after Fox got rid of what's the guy that they just fired from
Carson,
over there?
Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson. Then you got this town hall thing that they set up. They're trying to jump on if Fox is going to bleed some of their viewership is going to bleed and leave because of the firing of Tucker Carlson. That's why they jump on this town hall, because they're trying to capitalize on that, regardless of what lies, regardless of whatever, how bad. I mean, they were degraded. All these other news sources completely degraded them. But that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to capitalize on, if Fox loses these people, let's see if we can get them. That's what it is, because that guy hasn't been doing a good job since they brought him over there, because CNN remained last. Even they brought him over there to change things, and it is what it is. I didn't watch Donald Trump's town hall because he's going to tell the same lies over and over that we've already heard. You could just watch some of the snippets. That's what I did. I read some of the articles about a lot of the lies and things that he's told. You know, and the young lady tried to do the host did her best. Like when he said Obama took home, saw one of the Obama took home documents too. She said that's not true. He said yes it is, and just overtalked her. And then how he tore down that woman who he lost the civil case against, and the people in the audience laughed at a supposed rape victim. So you know that they're MAGAs that's sitting in there. The whole thing was just atrocious. America's going to hell in a complete handbasket. I don't know what to say. I mean, we got two choices: Joe Biden, who a lot of people do not want anymore, didn't want him in the first place, and then Donald Trump. What are we to do? It's really a sad fact of ish that is going on here right now. And the fact that this man has been indicted, and he's going to be indicted again, probably sometime in the summer, from Georgia. We're still looking at the case. What is the Justice Department going to do? He's been all of these things that's coming up, and his fans, they just do not care to make excuses. And he lies, and like when he said, I finished the wall. She said, no, you didn't. You didn't finish the wall. I finished that wall. You know, they don't care about the lies. And I'm going to get off this part of Donald Trump right now. After this, they were speaking to some of the people who were there at the town hall, because most everybody who was there that they spoke to afterwards to get their opinion, they were all MAGAs and one or two independents. And the host said, well, how do you all feel about Donald Trump is still talking with the big lie about the election, this, that? And you know what the MAGA said? Well, you shouldn't have asked them about it. They don't care. They don't care. And the only person who said anything that kind of made sense was the independent. He said, I'm actually tired of hearing about that lie. Tired of hearing about the lie. But the Trump fans, they don't care. They do not care. So I don't know what's going to become, actually, of this country. I don't know what's going to become of us, because the people don't seem to mind. I was thinking today, I'm not going to say out loud, but you remember when somebody caught COVID and they were sick, and what everybody was thinking, but you couldn't say out, and you couldn't say it on social media or you would get suspended. That's where my mind was going. I think that's about the only hope that we got to get that man gone. But you brought up Ebony Williams. I'm so sick of that conversation. I'm so sick of our community as a whole having conversations about relationships. Because all it does, it leads to the dragging of each other. There is no understanding. There is no, that's all it does. And we look extreme. To me, we're embarrassing ourselves for the world to see. All of these conversations about relationships. The women are doing this size bitching, that size bitching. And that whole Ebony Williams thing Iyanla out the, they were talking about whatever it was they were talking about. I watched most of the interview. She was interviewing Iyanla, and Iyanla asked her, well, we're just out, because Iyanla was being interviewed, not Ebony. Ebony was doing the interviewing. And Tyrone, Ebony is a lawyer. She's an author.
Mm-hmm.
The woman, she got it going on. She's making money. She's the ish. And so Iyanla out the blue asked her, well, would you date a bus driver? And Ebony stopped for a minute, was like, well, if he owned the bus, that was it. That was it. That was the whole, just that whole thing. That was it. She didn't say anything about black men. She didn't say anything about this. And our community always has to show its hand. The community jumped out there. The community that I'm ashamed of a lot jumped out there. Well, she running down black men. That woman ain't said nothing about no black men, because she said earlier on in the interview that she's dated the rainbow. She's dated some of, when I mean rainbow, I'm not talking about LGBTQ plus IA. I'm not talking about that rainbow. I'm talking about race. She said she's dated some of everybody. She had a white fiance. She's dated black men, this man, some of everybody. So when Iyanla asked her that question further down in the interview, she said, well, if he owns the bus, and our community, who is always looking to be talked down on, who's always looking to be effed on, who's always looking that somebody's looking down, even if it's one of our own, jumped out there. Well, she running down bus driver. My daddy I saw so much of that. My daddy is a bus driver. He get paid $250,000 a year. My daddy is a bus driver. I'm serious. You think I'm making up stuff? That's
No, I don't. I believe every word you said.
My daddy is a bus driver. He make $120,000. Where y'all driving the bus at? Oh, anyway, $120,000 a year. My daddy's doing this, that. And it was like, this woman didn't say, and she running down black men. She's tearing up black men. You had the men and the women were doing it. This wasn't men doing it. You had the women doing it too. Not just that she running down black men. That woman ain't say that about black men. But we did, but our community did as it always does. Somebody talking down on us. Somebody's doing this, and they jumped out there and they claimed it. She's talking about black men. When she said 10 minutes before in the conversation, she stated some of everybody. The fiance that she had, I don't know what she's doing now. I don't follow her like that. I know she is. Was white. Our community jumped out there and said, she talking about us. She's trying to run down black men. No one said anything about black men. Just because there was two black women sitting up there on the stage. Ebony said she dated some of everybody. She's dated some of everybody. But your black people jumped out there and claimed that. She talking about us. That bus drivers, white. I didn't see not one white man jump out there and claim that. I didn't see not one white man saying, let me take that back. I did see some white people joined in on the conversation and some of the, the comment sections on some of the things. And some of them was like, well, they say you're supposed to date and get into relationship with people you're equally yoked with. I don't see anything wrong with what she's saying. That's what I saw some white men and women were saying. Well, she's probably more equally yoked with such and such. The woman is a lawyer. The woman is an author. The woman she got it going on. So what's the problem? Our community jumped out there, tore that woman apart. She did a video on her. She has some type of podcast, and she was trying to break it down and explain. Then she went on the Breakfast Club. And DJ Envy was whining and bitching like a little girl. You hurt people's feelings. That woman didn't say nothing about black men. And then the whole time they was jumping on her. Both DJ Envy and Charlamagne both said they didn't watch the entire interview. But DJ Envy, he just lost his cool. You didn't even watch the whole interview. And you hurt people.
Charlamagne need to shut up. I still can't get over his whole ordeal. I don't know why people let him get away with it.
And then DJ Envy threw in her face your white fiance. DJ Envy is not married to a black woman. It's the audacity for me here now. He's not married to a black woman. I think his wife is Latina. He's not married to a black woman. But you will talk about this woman and her white fiance. I think she was engaged to some white lawyer or something.
Yeah.
And you who's not married to a black woman will throw this up in her. It's the audacity. We looking real stupid out here with this. We looking real. He gonna throw out her white fiance, but he's not married to a black woman. I mean, and everybody just lost it. And she was trying to explain what this meant. Then, what's the fool with the spoon? Then he made a video. He lost it. And people have been saying, even our community, and calling people average and this, that. Charlamagne and DJ Envy was calling people average. Those were their words. Nobody didn't pay attention to that conversation. They was at they're mediocre and average. She wasn't using those words. They threw them out there, so she just used the words. She said, "Well, this is the words you all use. Unless it's that we're looking embarrassing." What happened to so much of mixed messages and foolishness out here from our community? On one hand, you got the men saying choose better. Oh, okay, well, I'm a lawyer and I'm a this or that. I'm thinking about leaving generational wealth. I think I would prefer to deal with the person who owns the bus company, because I'm a millionaire. I got some millions myself. I'm an author. I'm this, that. Yeah, I'm more equally yoked with someone who's probably as, educated or, learned and has done things, traveled like me. So I think I'm a little more equally yoked with that. And then you tear her down. But then you got the men sit up over here with the mic. Y'all need to choose better. If somebody trying to choose better, then you run them down. Then Iyanla does a video and says, and Iyanla's lying. Miss Baby Boomer is lying. Iyanla is a rich woman. She lives not too far from me. Not near, but not. Iyanla lives 15 minutes away from me. We use same so that spread that you can't get to back there where she lives. She's a rich woman. She's not gonna talk, but she says, I would talk to a bus driver. Iyanla has a law degree. Iyanla has a master's degree. Iyanla got some other kind of degree in there. She's got her license in this coach and that coach. She's a rich woman. After dealing with Oprah Winfrey, she's had books on the bestseller. She has an Emmy Award. Iyanla is not going to talk this to a regular Metro bus driver. She's not going to. But she said, I would. But Lisa, I would make sure that I.
Let me check these lines. There's two people that push one.
Go ahead.
Who's this unknown caller? Hello?
Tyrone?
Yes. Who's this?
Hello? Oh, this is Miss Lady.
Okay, Miss Lady. I'm going to get you, and I want to see who this other caller is. Who's this other caller?
That's me, Gigi.
What's up, Gigi? All right, so go ahead, Miss Lady, and then Gigi. How y'all doing tonight?
Well, Tyrone, I'm
pretty good.
Wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute, Miss Lady. Wait a minute, Miss Lady. Let Elisa finish, and then you go after.
No, I was wrapping it up.
Okay.
Because I want to tell you what Iyanla said at this real quick, and this will bring it all home.
Okay.
Iyanla's a rich woman. She said, I would talk to a bus driver. She said, but I have to have a really good prenup, and my money has to be off to the side. She said, and I would build with the bus driver. Iyanla's 69, 70 years old. You've already built. What type of building are you trying to do? You're a rich, educated woman. Stop lying. And then on her podcast, she said, her podcast, and to the ladies, you've got to stop being so sharp-tongued to some of these felons out here. Like some of these men that has been out here that has served 6 to 8 years, They could be they could be good men and good husbands and stuff. That's what Dr. Iyala said. Black women, we can't. It's like it choose better. You try to have some standards, and Iyala is saying that our tongue is too tight for the felons. We need to give what the entire hell. Our community is embarrassing as hell, and I'm embarrassed by it. And I just don't know. I don't know what else to think. And then to end this, somebody called Iyala's show right after she got finished telling how the women to stop being sharp tongued to felons. You need to think about some of it because they could make good men and good husbands too. Someone called into her show to Iyala and said, "Well, y'all talking about people, men, the bus drivers, and me. Bus drivers, I have bus drivers in my family, good people." I'm just saying that. Elisa saying that. But someone called in and said, y'all talking about people being average at best and mediocre jobs and this, that. Let's talk about when Kevin Samuels set his ass up on social media, up on YouTube, social media, calling black women average, calling black women they have hit the wall, that they're average at best. They have to settle, they have to this, they have to do this, that. We all know all that stuff that man was saying. And you know what, y'all, that she had some gossip guests on her show. You know what they said? Well, we're not going to talk about that right now. Our community is a joke. That's it, Tyrone.
Well, that's a good point about Kevin Samuels. But go ahead, Miss Lady, and then Gigi.
Yes, I agreed with everything Elisa said. It's a joke, and we're laughing stock, especially the men with all their whining and crying and carrying on in foolishness. Maybe she's trying to kind of help fill a void that Kevin Samuels left. It might be kind of a grift for her and getting her name out there because we really hadn't heard much from her for a while. And so now everybody's talking about Iyala and this interview with Ebony. And, Lisa, you said pretty much everything I think that a lot of us think. It was absolutely ridiculous. And for her to, why did she choose a bus driver as an occupation for an example?
I don't know. Exactly.
It's almost like she's demeaning bus drivers in a roundabout way. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's like Iyala's putting down the status of a bus driver. It's not Ebony. Because she already knew what the answer was going to be before she posed that question.
Exactly.
So, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's just laughing stock, and I think it's just it's a PR move, it's a grift move, and so that's pretty much what I have to say. But it was absolutely ridiculous. And everybody knows it. One last thing. Do you think there's been so much pushback? Because it seems the more qualities a black woman has, the more she becomes a target, to people to throw bows and arrows and slings at her. So because she's so accomplished and she's highly attractive, she's in shape, she looks younger than her years, she has, she's wealthy, she's very self-confident because she's done the work. She's done, and so she's educated herself. She's has all these things going. She's the whole package. So I think it's like, let's tear this person down. Let's tear her down. I think people are highly sensitive, even just looking at her. They get triggered. They get very triggered. And I think a lot of black women felt that same way about Meghan Markle, to be honest. They get very triggered. Mm-hmm. And I think underneath it's a lot of jealousy, resentment, and toward particular black women.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I really do.
The pushback is because we got a community full with red bottom he bitches for black men. That's what the pushback is.
Well, they want to be her, but they can't. They weren't born her. They weren't born a woman. They don't look like her. They aren't accomplished like her. So there's, like I said, there's a lot of jealousy, there's envy, and there's resentment. It's coming from men and women.
Men, it's coming from both, Tyrone. And Tyrone,
Because
let me say this
accomplished men think the same way she does. They understand.
Yes,
They would think she's a fool for settling for somebody who's way, not where she is. I mean, she's just anybody that does that is setting themselves up to be used and abused and to be undermined because of jealousy and resentment. So no, you can't. Look at Mary J. Blige. Look at what happened to her.
Yeah, she's still
Look
paying.
at Sherry Shepherd. Look at what happened to her.
She's still paying.
All right.
She's still paying.
Absolutely not. And even outside of the compatibility, I mean, compatibility is it includes finances as well. But especially when it comes to women and their finances, trust me, going through law school, passing that New York bar, doing all that work she's done, that took a lot of energy, discipline. It took time. It took you foregoing other things you'd rather be doing. But you in that library studying, you at home studying, you know you're not going to parties, you're not going to basketball games, you're not going out dancing. You doing what you got to do, and it's years of that. So no, they need to step aside and go back to driving a bus.
Go ahead, Elisa.
Tyrone, can I say something real quick before Gigi goes? And Miss Lady, Iyanla knows better than that. Iyanla was an assistant district attorney herself. She went to law school herself. So that's why I said Iyanla's lying. But Tyrone, I want to say this. As far as the thing about the felons, I brought that up that Iyanla said that, not to run down anyone that may have served time in jail. That is not what I do. I have still in my family has served time in jail. They got out and they did what they needed to do, and they're living productive lives. So that's not. I didn't bring that up to say like I'm acting on one.
Yeah,
because
everybody.
I'm not.
And I understand.
That's not what that was about. I was just bringing that up to demonstrate that Iyanla is telling, in a sense, women like Ebony, don't shoot for your dreams and don't be so harsh-tongued, even when it comes to the felons. And it's nothing wrong. I'm not saying anything is wrong with the felons. If you're out and you're productive, I'm with you.
That's right.
I support you, and I'm with you. That's not what this is about. This is about, in a sense, knocking black women down 3, 4, 5 steps or two. That's all. That's all I wanted to straighten out.
And I think,
Well,
think
Gigi gotta go,
Ayana
Miss
can be
Lisa.
kind of harsh. Yeah, I think Ayana's the one that could be harsh-tongued.
Y'all is
Don't
harsh
you?
tongue.
Thank
Yes,
you.
it is.
So she's projecting, and so I'm just wondering, like I say, there's a lot of sometimes jealousies and resentment that come from black women as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Well, Miss Gigi, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hello, everybody. I think the only mistake, I think the evenly yoked is a very, very, very good phrase that Miss Alicia brought up, because it's not just spiritually, it's a person who's worked, like Miss Lady said, a person that's worked and studied and done without and was disciplined enough to become an attorney would be evenly yoked with another attorney. And it's not just about money, it's just about discipline and the way that you choose to live your life. So it doesn't make you a bad guy if you're an attorney, you want to be with an attorney, or if you're a quote-unquote bus driver, you want to be with a bus driver. It's the only mistake the lady that was talking to Iyanla made was to try to come back the next day and lie about what she meant. Say what you mean what you say, and
stand in it.
Yes, exactly. Just own it, and that's it. When she came back to try to clean it up, it made it worse. She has a right to choose who she wants to be with, and that's that. So I'm done. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, and if you flip this conversation on his head,
bus drivers. There's nothing wrong with bus drivers. I don't look down on anybody. It's an occupation. You make money, you pay your bills. It's nothing wrong with being a bus driver. It wasn't about putting bus drivers, even though I think Ayala was kind of doing it, but I don't think Ebony was at all. She was just really clear at that interview. What she felt was compatible for her. There's nothing wrong with driving a bus. There's nothing. Yes, there's been felons that come out of jail that are, doing well. Remember that one? He's up in Vegas over the casino. He was over the casino. He worked his way up to be the head chef. He's written cookbooks. He's a businessman. He's wealthy now. He turned his life around. So, yeah, it's possible. But that's not going to be the average person to be able to become successful like that, felon or not.
Yes.
So, yeah, nice looking man. So, yeah, so it's just about compatibility, really.
Exactly. You have to be yoked. And as far as Fallon, one of my bestest friends since high school, he was being stupid and dumb. He got in trouble at 19, 18, and 19. He had to do 6 months. He's a felon. Got out, said was stupid. The reason because he was doing dumb stuff, and we didn't think he was going to serve that little bit of time, but he did. And got out, went back to school, went to the community college, transferred to Howard University, went through there, finished up, law school. And he's doing, you ain't got to do the whole law school, but that's just what he did, So I don't ish on anyone who has made mistakes in their life. But Iyanla threw that bus driver out there. Iyanla was the one by throwing the bus driver out there. She was limiting to what they would be, and would you look down on them? Iyanla did that.
Iyanla was looking down in an indirect way, in a roundabout way. Yeah, that's who was doing it. It wasn't Ebony.
No, Iyanla did that. And I don't want to ish on Iyanla because I do like her. She's a very educated woman. She got plenty of money. But she's like
I saw her years ago. It was great. I'm talking decades ago. It was packed full of women, and it was a great time we had. It was
very smart woman. Very smart woman. I see her from time to time because we shop in the same grocery store. We go in the same stores, the shopping centers that's in my area, I see Iyanla from time to time. Not the friendliest person. I can go, oh, hey, can I get you? No. I saw her embarrass somebody in Macy's at the shoe counter. So, no, you don't. But she seems pleasant enough. But very highly intelligent woman. I just don't know what she's doing right now. I don't know what Iyanla's trying to do. And she's a rich woman herself. So what are you doing, Iyanla? You the one started. Maybe somebody said it looks like she's trying to be manosphere adjacent. I don't know what Iyanla's trying to do.
Yeah, like she's trying to fill a vacuum left by Kevin Samuels in a way. Not being like him, but she knows there's a vacuum left, like a lot of those other men are trying to do. But she knows she's smart in how she's going to do it. And you know what I'm saying? She's smarter than them. So, but, by doing this,
She's smarter than them. So but Iyanla got money. Why are you doing this?
Well, because she's probably bored, want to get busy, want to get her name back out there, be back on TV, and
relevant.
Well, this social media. Listen, this social media stuff pays off if you get to a certain level. You really make a lot of money whenever you get a certain level of popularity. So I know you say she got money, but everybody can use extra.
Oh yeah. Because even Tucker Carlson gonna have his own, I think YouTube. Is it on Twitter?
Yeah.
I read something. Elon Musk, he's gonna have his own platform on Twitter or something.
He's just doing what everybody else already does. He ain't doing nothing special unless Elon Musk is going to dedicate a section to him. Because at the end of the day, anybody could go live and do a show on Twitter. He ain't doing nothing special. An average person can do a show on Twitter. Just film it, we'll go live, and do whatever you're going to do. That's it. Nothing special. But he will have a base that's going to follow him, for sure.
He might start selling T-shirts and caps and mugs, for all we know.
Lots of mugs.
Tyrone, we should have got us a grift over here and made some money. Everybody
know,
else.
right?
What would be a good grift? What would be a good grift?
Calling out these red bottom bitch men. That's what a good grift is. Talking about how weak they are.
No, we ain't gonna make no money off that, Tyrone. We can make no money off that. We're gonna have to issue on the women and make excuses, and that's how we would have had to, be manicure adjacent. Then we could have had us a good grift and making money over here. That's what we should have did. I wouldn't have done that, but we should have. But we could have made some money over here.
Oh yeah, you be hearing men cry over here. You can't say that about a man. I remember when I used to call out black men, and the dude named Q used to call in.
I remember Q. Yeah, I remember that.
They used to get mad with me about calling out these sorry behind men.
But you're not gonna make no money with that. You ain't gonna make no money calling. You have to call out. You have to. Your whole platform has to be taking black women to task and making them stand accountable.
That's the honey pot there. That's the honey pot.
And that's what they always say, that black women have to be accountable. Accountable to who and for what?
To them, I don't know.
They never say accountable to who. To them?
It's the money.
Are they serious?
To the world. That's the money. That's the money right there. We could have made some good money over here. You
have to be submissive, Miss Lady. You got to be submissive. You got to submit.
Well, it says in the Bible says, wives, be submissive to your husbands. And the husband's supposed to be submissive to Christ or the church or whatever, God.
Well, that's why they talk to you like this on the phone, because they want you to be submissive on the phone. You ain't never noticed that?
None of them, they ain't my husband.
But they talk about traditional. But the stupid thing is, if you really want to be traditional and you want the women to be traditional and to submit to you in your home, you stop asking her what she brings to the table, because you're supposed to bring everything to the table and you're supposed to provide the table too. And if you can't do that, shut the hell up. If you need her help to make things do what it do, if you need her help for you all to build and take care of your family, shut the hell up. Shut up.
See, they want submissive providers.
Yeah, submissive, mouth shut providers. Just go out.
That's a word right there. That is a word. Submissive providers. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they just stuck in the past.
Submissive providers.
They got to realize them days is long gone. Them days is not never coming back. Women have moved forward. They just haven't.
But what kills me is when I see women who are pretending to want to play that game, as if you all don't know the thing. Just back in the 60s, in the early 70s, women couldn't have credit cards, couldn't have bank accounts, different things that they could not do. They could not get on birth control without their husband's permission. They couldn't buy a home, different things they just could not do. And y'all want to play that? Y'all want to pretend play this traditional, the way things was nuclear bullshit? Back when women didn't have any rights? Are you crazy? Who wants to go back to that? No one. We should be doing this.
And they still wouldn't be able to afford to take care of everything financially.
Right.
You know, they're crazy.
Yeah,
It's
prices have gone
delusional.
sky high. So you're gonna need at
Instead of
least two incomes.
at least
Well,
giving the credit for holding the family together, because when they take that option to leave, we got to hang in there. We got to hang in there to the bitter end for our families.
well,
Not
black women
necessarily
been working.
not necessarily married, hang in there, but hang in there, trying to hold everybody together and take care of your kids and your grandkids and even
Yeah.
your parents at the same time.
And
Yep.
then every family had a
Black
big
women are
mama
holding
that
everybody
was
up.
taking care of all the kids. Remember, Big Mama was watching all the kids, making sure everybody. Everybody plus the kids had to work the day we stepped off the plantation. So I'm not understanding what is it? What type of
Well, you know what?
thank
They
God.
they don't want to attack the capitalistic system and the supremacist system, so they're just kicking the black woman. You know, it's like the man that goes to work and he can't really tell his boss off, the white boss off, woman or man, and he has to just grit his teeth and do whatever, no matter what. Well, you know, they come home and they you know, scream at the wife, kick the dog, you know, all that kind of stuff. So it's just kicking down. They think that, you know, black women, you know, because we don't have the white privilege as white women do, so that it's okay, you know, nobody cares. We can just, you know, disrespect them. We can kick at them. We can target them to make ourselves feel better about our own position in this world, which, you know, so it's just kind of sad. It's delusional. It's crazy. And I just, you know, like that guy that called in, I felt bad for him, but he's really going on with this manosphere talk, the one who did everything for his woman, and she left him after 2 years or whatever, and he was working, paying all the bills and doing, and he's so angry at women.
Story though,
What
you know
was
this
his
guy.
name?
Who you talking about? Sankofa?
Yeah, Sankofa. Yeah, he's on that manosphere track. He needs to go get some therapy.
Sure
That's what they need to do, is go get some therapy.
Y'all sure he's telling the truth, though? Y'all sure he's telling the truth?
I think he was, because he was almost started crying, it sounded like, when he was talking about that woman. Because I told him, if you talking to her like you talking to me, I could see why she left. And, you know, I thought he was going to curse and carry on, but he didn't. He said, I wasn't talking to her like that. I was nice. I'm like, to myself, and blah, blah, blah. And I think he was really telling the truth, because he is really hurt.
He's hurt, but
I don't know about
the whole story.
He might be telling the truth. He might be telling it he might be telling it how.
I hear you. Well, something happened, because anyway, he hurt. The woman left.
Gigi got the info in the treasure trunk, huh, Gigi?
Everybody says I did everything right. I was absolutely perfect. I don't know why this happened to me. Something wrong.
No, that could be the case. It could be the case. You know, people could be. It just don't work. It just sometimes it just don't work out. The thing is, you got to know how to deal with it. You got to know how to move past it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes, I know how to move past it.
That's what it's all about. It's problem solving. A relationship is problem solving too.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
No, but a
Solving
lot
problems.
a lot of these people don't be telling the truth, or how they remember things. A lot of how they remember things aren't. I'll give you an example. I was talking with my ex-husband last year sometime, where I don't remember when it was. We might have was in quarantine. I don't remember. He called, and we was just talking. How you doing? How's everybody? How's blah blah blah. And somehow or another, we had got on the subject about this particular car he had, and he was like, "Remember when you was driving my car, you had backed into the such and such?" He said, and then I had to pay all that money to get that car fixed, such. He said, I was telling such and such about that. And I was like, what car? And he was like, the such and such, I'll make up a color. My purple car. And I said, I'd never seen that car. When I met you, it was in the shop. I've never driven that car. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah, I've never seen that car. You said that the engine block cracked, and so you had to get another one. I met you, you didn't have a car. So sometimes, and he remembered it as it was a different car that I had backed into something, but he was blaming me for both of them. And I never seen that car. And he was like, "Oh, yeah, you're right." I said, "I bet you're not going to go back to such and such and say, oh, I was wrong on that." So sometimes people be telling stuff, but they have it mixed up, and they have themselves as I was right. This was done to me. This was done to me. When none of that stuff just be true, but they actually believe it. He actually believed that. So I had to remind him. I never laid eyes on that car.
I
But that's not
understand.
how he
Yeah.
saw it. It's not how
Making
he
up.
saw it. So I take everything when people be like, "This person did." Sometimes that person did do those things to them, but sometimes they didn't. So there's always two sides to every story, and the truth is someplace up in the middle. That's how I look at that. Oh, and one other thing, like y'all was saying about how the men get treated bad at work and they come home. White men will go for that too. That's why white women had the feminist movement, because their husband would go, and pardon my language, they would be at work and their bosses would shit on them, and then they come home and take it out on their wives. So they were the main culprit in that stuff too. And that's why their wives wanted out their house. They wanted their freedom, their job, their rights to be able to do some things. So you had that going on across all spectrums. So I mean, I just put that out there to be fair about it. So, oh, but Tyrone, let me
Uh-huh.
ask you something. You were talking about Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
I don't think that we're gonna ever. I don't think that. Uh, I don't know. I just send positive thoughts, and to that that's the only thing we can do as the public, because we really don't know what's going on. I have my thoughts about it,
Well, what's your thoughts? You
but
think somebody did something wrong to him?
no, because there was some talk about him having some health issues and high blood pressure and different things like that. If I remember right, I could probably search up those
Oh.
articles. He was talking about some things. No, I don't think anybody did anything to him.
Yeah,
And
there's a lot of conspiracies out there about P. Diddy.
yeah, I don't believe in that, any of that. But I think what I'm thinking. I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to put it out there in atmosphere. But he has, like, people, these actors and stuff get hurt or different things like that. And they got a lot of projects lined up. We have not seen this man to be able to assure the money, the studios, that I'm okay. I just think it's much worse than what we thought, and I give it to about next week. We'll get the word. That's just my thoughts on that, and that's sad.
Yeah, I just hope he get better. Cause I hate to see something happen to him.
Yeah, well, I
And
think I think it's past that. I think it's past that.
you think it's gonna get worse? Really? I hope not.
Word. No, I think we're past all that. I think by next week the word will be put out there. That's just
Oh,
my thoughts on it.
well, that's terrible.
Because they haven't seen or heard anything from him, and it's so sad. This is just terrible because he's young, and but things
And you said
happen.
that he
People
he,
say,
he had health problems before.
yeah, well, some articles I was reading about, he was talking about some high blood pressure or some, just some things that people have.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, if I would have to search those articles up, I'm not that pressed to search them up. But if I remember correctly, I just think he had a medical situation
Yeah.
went on, and that's what I think. I think it really was a medical situation that went on, and I think it's worse than what most think. And if you haven't been able to put out information yourself about I'm okay, and that these studios and the money, and then certain things are being replaced, and the movie he was working on, the guy's finishing up, wrapping up the movie with his double and everybody else. I think we will get word on this
Oh
next
yeah, I
week.
heard that
That,
they had to get somebody to replace him in a movie or something. Yeah, that is kind of serious, huh?
and on the show. And I think they're working that out, and the family doesn't want the people to know. They're just like praying. I mean, I for those who believe in miracles, you can have a miracle, but I think we will get the word if you follow my on that next week. That's just what I'm thinking. You know, I just think, machines can keep you going until the family can make up their mind. That's just where I'm at with it. And they're just not saying it. And I hate that. I hate that. And some things some people who's in the industry have said, but they don't want to say, and you read between the lines. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You read between the lines.
Can I just say something, Tyrone? You were partially right now when you were talking about the royal family and how they're behind all this mess about Harry and Meghan.
Yeah.
Well, it's coming out, with all of these lawsuits against the media, that the royal family's aides, like their close aides, they were feeding information to the media. So they must have gotten that from the family itself, or just being around there. But I'm sure some of the family members or some of those people fed those aides information, and then they fed it to the media.
Yep, that's how Princess Diana died. That's how Princess Diana died. They didn't like her, so they started telling the tabloid stuff, and the tabloids started chasing that woman around.
The same thing. It's happened all over again. I agree with you. But that thing had looked so bad. I mean, Charles, they sit up there at their coronation, and people making jokes about if you the side chick, hold out, you never know. And the side chicks made it all the way to the top.
I ain't gonna call him no king.
Came up, didn't she?
I ain't gonna call him no king. I'm just gonna call him Charles of the UK.
Hit the wall a long time ago, but she came up, didn't she?
Yeah, she came up. It's just so cheap and tawdry.
But you know what? I'm thinking, what if he has a heart attack and he goes on to wherever he goes on to? What happens to the queen consort?
No, the son takes over.
The son takes over. He becomes the king, and then the woman and his wife becomes the queen. Mm-hmm. So then,
she become what they call the queen mother or something like that. But she ain't got no power.
Just like what was the queen that just Elizabeth? Her mother, when Elizabeth's father was king, her mother was queen consort. When he died, Elizabeth became queen, and her mother her mother is just the queen's mother.
Yeah.
So Charles go on to glory, his son become king, and Camilla, whatever title, the judge.
She's a stepmother, but it's like I don't know if she wouldn't be the queen mother because she ain't the mother of them kids.
Well, they have to give her a title.
No,
they have to do something to her.
She's probably the Duchess of something, whatever the Duchess of.
I bet you Charles got her set up real nice, because that could happen. So she'll never have to worry about, how she's going to live. She's going to live quite well. Even though I don't think they can give her one of them royal palaces. I don't know if he can give her one of them royal.
No, they can't do that. No, they can't do that. She'll be the Duchess of something. And he got everything all set up for her. So she'll just be the whatever, because she's the Duchess of something or other.
I think the king can take them titles if you're not born into it. I think they can take them titles.
Yeah, they can. But like carrying them kids, they got their titles. But that's because Charles didn't have a choice. He didn't have a choice. He had to
because they're his heirs, but she ain't no heir to nobody.
No, but it just looks bad. I mean, he's sitting up there with that, it looks awful. Not that I care, but it just looks so cheap. And,
I know.
It's just tacky. The whole thing is cheap and tacky. And Charles, you get up there, and the whole thing is that it was supposed to go down that line anyway. When Elizabeth's her father became king because his brother advocated the throne
Yep.
because he wanted to marry a divorced woman. And all them people are shifting dust in their graves. And Charles, he married a divorced woman, and they just is the new modern monarchy. The whole thing is just they need to get rid of that mess because it's cheap and it look bad. Let's get rid of all of it. Because stuff that y'all didn't let people do back in the day, y'all just doing it. And she outside piece, and all of them is just cheap. It looks bad. And I'm glad even though Trump trying to be king, I'm just glad we don't have nothing like that over here. It looks bad. It looks real
Because
bad.
they even have somebody to put toothpaste on his toothbrush.
Who, Charles?
I heard that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's too rich there.
It's so archaic and medieval, you know. That's what it reminded me of, like medieval times. I could only watch a little bit. I really just wanted to see Harry, and I liked how he came down the aisle, all looking nice in his custom suit and smiling and looking all California healthy. I'm glad.
Megan wasn't invited, was she? She wasn't there, was she?
Oh no,
she didn't go. She didn't go to that.
She was with her children, and they had a picture of her hiking with some people, and had on her outdoor, shirt and top and pants and hat and sunglasses, smiling from ear to ear. She one thing about these people at that coronation. I know she wished her husband well, and it was so funny because as soon as it ended, he was allegedly invited to the luncheon. He got in that black car and got right to the airport, and they showed him the only thing he carried was a wooden hanger to put his suit coat on that airport. He got the heck out of there and got back home that same day. They said he got back around 7:30 p.m. at time to see his little boy on his birthday. He didn't waste any time. He went straight from that cathedral to that car and to the airport.
I know that's right. I wouldn't have even come, but I guess he had felt a duty. His father's becoming king, but I wouldn't even.
Oh yeah. If he had, they would have ate him up, them tabloids. But he said, "Okay, I'm gonna play this game," and came in there smiling and relaxed and happy, strolling down the aisle. And as soon as it was over, it's time to go.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even say goodbye to Charles and them. It's like bye.
It's slipped on out, but the whole thing looks bad. They probably paid him a couple $1 million to show up to make it look good. They probably did pay him, and I'd have taken the money because the amount of money that Harry and Meghan has made since they came back. So I was telling them too. If Netflix paid them $100 million, and all of them millions of dollars for them book deals and stuff like that, I'd have took the money too and told on them too. I'd have told on all of them. I'd have told all of them, and then I'd have took. People was like, "Oh my God, that's Netflix." Yeah, Netflix gave them $100 million, and they didn't go into how much that book deal for Despair or whatever the name of his book. I can only imagine the millions of dollars that they paid him for that. I would tell on them too and get that money. I really would, because Britain, they like tabloids. So why not get rich and do the tabloid thing over in America for the money? I'd have did it too. I'd have told that was my father. And then with that old cheap mess, I'd have did the same thing. I would have done the same thing. That old sleazy woman was slinking up around your seeing your father. Well, you can't really blame her because he's the one that was married to your mother. So he's the one that took the vows. But she was an old piece of.
And I think they both were married. Chlamydia was married too.
That lady name is not no chlamydia.
Damn, this old Gigi, you fine.
Gigi called that lady chlamydia. Chlamydia is an STD.
I know. I got kicked off Facebook for that one.
You called her chlamydia? Yeah, I like that. I might have to steal that. But yeah, the whole thing is just trashy.
What is her name
and they
now?
said, like he said it. What is that?
So now on, Tyrone, you're going to be calling her chlamydia.
I know, but what is her name?
I forgot what.
Chlamydia?
Camilla?
No, it's not.
No, Camille. What is that damn woman's name? Camilla?
Gigi, you done messed everybody up.
Thank you.
Yeah, because now I can't even think of what her name is.
Y'all called it earlier, though.
Camilla.
Camilla.
King Charles' wife's name. I forgot her name. I had it. We were saying it a minute ago, so she said chlamydia.
I said Camilla.
Camilla, there you go. See?
Camilla, yeah.
See what you did, Gigi?
Or camel toe. Never mind.
Just Camilla. I mean, the whole thing is just, it looks awful. I'm glad we don't have that. It's the Americans have their way. Trump wants to be king. So, I mean, we never know. He get in there and get the change and stuff, and the United States fall, they liable to do any kind of thing. He liable to become dictator king. That's what he wants. And that's what the people who like him, that's what they want for him. So
Donald Trump sure know how to catch a headline every day. I ain't seen nobody in the headline this much. He in the headline every day.
Yeah. Well,
yep, you don't want these headlines.
Yeah. I'm hoping on something. I know that's bad. Let me get some wood to knock on. But I'm hoping on something.
Yeah, because I don't want to see Joe Biden be president either. And you know what? They did a national poll. They did a national poll between Trump, DeSantis, and Biden, and DeSantis came out on top. Now, the reason DeSantis came out on top because Trump and Biden is old as shit. And I'm like, okay, so we need somebody young running on the Democrat side. Because that age is what's making people push back against Biden. Because
it's not just their age, because you can have age and be healthy, but they both look horrible.
Yeah, Joe Biden do not look good up there giving speeches and trying to grab stuff.
He looked like he about to fall asleep the whole time. Nobody wants.
Yeah.
I was hoping that. I was looking forward to see what Gavin Newsom was going to try to do, because I like him.
Yeah,
but I mean,
he out there trying to grab stuff and hold on to the papers, and he's just shaking all over the place. They need to stop now.
And people are afraid that we'll end up with President Kamala. I mean, that's a really big that you can't ignore that.
That's true. I forgot about that.
Ignore that. They don't want President Kamala, and you cannot put that aside. That could be a real thing. Nobody wants Joe Biden. I mean, I'm not saying he's doing a bad job or anything, but we didn't want him from the beginning.
Doing a good job either.
Oh no, Joe Biden. Joe Biden ain't that sick. Okay, so he's old and he's acting old. But if you remember,
old body.
Yeah, but if you remember Ronald Reagan started dying in the White House. If y'all remember, as he was
forgetting Nancy was the president.
Yeah, so Nancy, but Joe Biden ain't nowhere near. Joe Biden ain't nowhere near anything like that.
He's not that bad off, but
well, the medications are better now than they were back then.
I mean, I think people expect him to go one-on-one in basketball, or like he's gonna hit a baseball out the park.
Like Obama.
He's not. Come on, man. He's not. Like Obama could make a move on you. He'll do a Jordan. He'll dunk on you. But you want Biden to do that? Seriously?
Michelle was at the 2-point line too. No comment.
Man, at least he's not walking with a cane.
Well, Trump looked like he needs one. He all bronze looking.
Trump looks like he's Wow, his skin looks like it's like raw meat that's rotting and out. You leave it out, it's curing. Wow, he
it's a hot mess.
He looked like his skin looks like fish skin that's curing out in the wilderness.
Analogy.
Hey Siri.
Bring
How
in
old
the
is
will.
Donald Trump?
Damn.
Well, these white people love them some Trump, boy. I don't know. That's why I said CNN had a KKK rally last night, because that's all that was
What?
up there.
They sure did.
Just,
Hey, CNN are fools. They are fools. I'll repeat it again. You got what you deserve. Well, they want to be Fox. They want that. They want them
see,
Tucker
and that's why
audience.
they got rid of Don Lemon, because Don Lemon didn't do shit. Don Lemon didn't do nothing that nobody else didn't do. They got rid of him because Don Lemon speaks from a black perspective.
He said something about a Republican. Remember that lady? She's not fit. So whether he said it that she's not at her age peak, right?
But that was nothing. Jay, that was nothing. She said that he was in her prime, but that wasn't nothing to fire nobody over.
She was Republican, and they made changes in CNN. So you go a little hard, no pun intended, into the Republican Party. You say
Listen,
something offensive.
Here's the context. Here's the context, Jay. Nikki Haley said that Joe Biden was not in his prime. And Don Lemon was responding to Nikki Haley saying somebody wasn't in their prime.
Exactly.
And he said she ain't in her prime. So that wasn't nothing to fire that lady over. But the two ladies on the panel, well, what you mean she ain't in her prime? Prime for what? You know, so that's what the
what he said was some people would say Nikki Haley is not in her prime.
Yeah.
There was something wrong with that. Because a lot of
Well, they used that. That was the segue to twist it on him and say, well, it came out your mouth. But I didn't say that. I'm just responding to what people are saying. He said, no, but you said it. You know what? This is a perfect time for us to part ways. Well, I think they were looking for a segue to get him out. If we're talking about a Republican leader or a Republican takeover of the platform, his vision is, we got to get some Tucker people in here. We know that Don Lemon be stirring up the heat here in the sense of that he's not going to cut no corners.
Right, he's going to cut no corners when they were calling out those right-wing Republicans or anything that Donald Trump was doing wrong. He did not hold back one bit. And he kind of spoke from a black perspective, so they couldn't have that over there. Same thing with Cuomo. Cuomo didn't pull no punches.
Yeah, same thing with Cuomo. Cuomo, he didn't pull no punches. The reason they got rid of Cuomo, I didn't think was right anyway. But wait a minute. Joe Biden is 80. I didn't know Joe Biden had turned 80.
He's 80.
Yep.
80.
I didn't know. I thought he was still 79. I didn't know. Trump is 77 next month. So he really can't tell he'll be 77 next month.
I mean, he looks 77 because, he's a white man. He's like that. He has that look. But, I mean, he's now walking with a cane. Gigi out here in the back, sighing. Gigi, you want him to do boxing and hit the bag? He ain't going to do that.
No, I don't care one way or the other.
This is what we got, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why we got. Okay.
I think even any third person at this point, besides Trump and Biden, would have a good chance.
I'm with you on that, Gigi. I mean, President Biden, he need to go sit down, just hand the reins over to somebody. Mm-hmm. The California governor or that guy from Texas. What's that guy name that keep losing the governorship? Beto O'Rourke. Yeah. Somebody.
Beto O'Rourke. Gavin Newsom from California. So let me see, how old is Gavin Newsom?
And like I said, it's not about age. It's just that he's decrepit. They're both decrepit.
Well, that has to do with age, Gigi.
I know, but you can be 80 and be, fit and whatever. Like, what was that guy that died? What's the black man that died? 999. Herman Cain.
Herman Cain.
Come on.
Yeah, just before he kicked
Herms.
Yeah, Gavin Newsom just 55 years old.
Yeah.
So I mean, he would be fresh and young. When Obama,
he don't look 55.
And Obama, I forgot how old he was. He was 65.
Obama still looked young. It was the gray. It was just all that stress from being the president.
Yeah,
turned him gray.
He still looks young.
But his skin looked good,
Joe Biden,
his wife didn't age a bit.
Joe Biden gonna make me run for president if they don't get somebody up there that's young.
No,
I'll go do it.
listen, this is what I was going to say before. You know, this is the problem. Even in the Democratic Party, they don't want to push a new nominee.
And you know what, Jay?
They're playing it
Listen,
safe, man.
listen. We keep talking shit about how everybody is falling behind Donald Trump like a court, right?
Right.
But look,
We gotta fall behind.
they doing the same thing for fucking Joe Biden because ain't nobody trying to challenge his ass. They ain't nobody trying to challenge.
Well, you know what it is that they saying why reinvent the wheel? They're going and it could be bad in the sense of, you know, they don't want to take a chance. Well, we have to take chances. I mean, at the end of the day, all these people took chances and they pushed the envelope, and some of these people did bad things. So I'm saying that they're scared. They feel like safe zone. Oh, Joe Biden, he's established. He got there. You know, he's around the same age. You know, all the things that they say, even those that don't like him, the Democrats. Oh, well, who else we got? We need somebody as popular to guarantee that. We don't have that because, again, the Democrats, still with their old ways, don't want to push that new leader forward.
This is the way I look at it. There's over 300 million people in this damn country, and you're telling me that Joe Biden is the only person that we got. I can't swallow that,
old
man.
Politics. It's old politics, and again,
I have a question.
Wait, Gavin.
Wait. I got a weird question. Wait a minute, Miss Alicia. Wait a minute. I have to ask a weird question. You know how they say that all the people that were president were all related in one way, shape, or form, except for one guy, like Van Buren or something. Is Kamala Harris in some weird way related to Biden or Obama or Bush?
I don't know that.
You know, I never looked at. I never heard that. She might be. I don't know because all of them are related, and some of them. Just like, but because Trump is even related to somebody. But Obama is real related up to them people, to quite a few presidents.
His mother's white, so that'd be easier to trace. But with this girl, you know, whatever race she is at this point, could she be related? Because that might make her available to be the next president. Jay?
I never thought about that. I'm looking it up right now.
I mean, I think that's well, I mean, I don't think about the relations, but I think that they're also, I mean, it's weird.
Really be president. Only certain people. So that means Pence must have been related some kind of weird way.
I mean, it's cash and connections. It's cash and connections. Cece. You could say Cece. Gigi.
No, I'm talking about bloodline because they are serious. Just like with that English nonsense with the quote-unquote
Right. Well, I don't know that. I mean, is that the acceptance for Kamala and Obama? Where's his bloodline? Is he connected to them?
Obama was.
Yes, he is. Obama was.
He's related to Dick Cheney?
Bush. Oh, right.
No,
exactly. Cheney, too. Yep. He laughed about it, but he knew it was true.
He was related to a
far, right?
Like that's dead.
Yeah.
But you know, JFK Jr. wants to run for president.
Oh,
he has a very
gravelly
voice.
Oh, he's a disaster. He needs to get his voice box
He's
right.
a gravelly voice. It's hard to listen.
Yeah, he needs to fix his voice first. Get a voice transmission.
It's like gravel.
Hold on, I got another caller.
Wait a minute. Kat Hepburn had that same thing with her voice, and they.
But you can't hear me, Gigi.
All right, I got
a way to fix it. They found a way to fix it with Botox.
Let me see who this caller is. Let me see who this caller is. Who's this on the line?
Mace.
Hey, what's up, Mace? How you doing tonight?
Hey, Tyrone, real quick. I have the list of the presidents that Barack Obama is related to. Some of them is like third and fourth cousin. Barack Obama was related to the Bushes. We knew that. Gerald Ford, Lyndon Johnson, Harry Truman, and James Madison.
That's true.
He's related to all of them. And one or two of them, he was related. He's like third and fourth generation just removed. So he was related to all of them.
Now we got to find Kamala. But hey, Mace, I missed you.
Oh, yes, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody else, Kamala can't run for president if she's running for vice president, can she? So if Biden fell ill,
if he drops dead,
no, if he fell ill, and she would have to take over as a younger person, right?
Yeah.
She wouldn't be old.
Right.
So, and then the third person in line after her would be who?
You're breaking up.
Well, Kevin McCarthy.
Huh? Thank you.
But no. So if Kamala become president, she's going to have to choose a vice president.
Mhm.
So Kevin McCarthy would still be third.
Do you think she would choose a younger person or an old person?
I don't know. It would be an old white man, probably.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah, make everybody feel safe. There'll be an old white man in there somewhere.
Mhm. So and then if you take the other side, whoever they're running, what if they choose an older person when they win? That's old as Joe Biden. So you're still in a mess. Are we not?
Well, I don't think the problem is the age. I think the problem is the capacity to do the job.
No, listen now, Gigi. When you say that, Joe Biden has accomplished a lot of stuff since he's been up there. So he's got.
I know he's paid billions of dollars to Ukraine. That's all I know.
But see, you need to learn some more because they would been an infrastructure bill. Your damn your what you call that stuff? Your pharmaceutical prices then went down. He did a lot of stuff, man.
Did Joe do that or did he come do that?
Or was these things already on the table? He just signed them off.
So
I know that infrastructure bill's been around for a long time. But because of the fighting between the Democrats and the Republicans, they could never get anything done. Because when Trump was in office, all he did was erase everything that Obama put in place instead of actually doing something new and initiating. So,
but what I hear they saying this is Obama's administration that they're running now. I said they love that man so much that they want this to be his administration again. And as much as the people hated him, I didn't understand it. So that's why I was thinking when you say Joe is old, but Kamala is young, and she's next in line just in things something happened to him. So if she was not going to be his EP, she could run for president. But people don't speak of her as running for president. Some people don't want her to be president. I don't know why.
Well, you do know why, because she's a woman of color.
Oh, okay.
That's why they don't want her up there.
And then the thing on CNN. Now, I've seen 3 men leave. I mean, 3 men and a half, or whatever you want to put it. You had
Hayes. 3 men and a half.
You had and then you had Roland Martin, and now who's gone? CNN is just a stem from Fox. So is some of the other stations you look at. Because Fox used to put out stuff first, and every station would. I was like, this don't make no sense. Fox put this out, and everybody else is scared. Like Joe Biden's son's laptop, which don't have no evidence. They just keep talking about it. I'm like, 5 years past, as Tyrone said, they ain't found nothing, but they still using that as a crutch. They're connected to the daddy. So I'm saying, like, in all this madness, and then when it comes to the Congress, the House and the Senate, they ain't trying to make no changes. Because I just like Harry Reid used to be, the one that's in charge now is the same way he is. He ain't passing no bills and trying to put none on the floor. What has Chuck Schumer put on the floor since he's been there?
Yep.
Anybody know?
Nope.
So that's what I'm saying. So you have to watch those people until something get on the president, because he only signs the bill. They are the ones that do the work, but they don't do no work. They are using this together as we can't get this done and we can't get that done. And then you got the Looney Tunes, some of the liberals and the conservatives. They working together. And then people are like, I thought they're supposed to be working for us, not us. Them telling us what we need is for us to tell them with our tax dollars what we want. But we don't get that from neither party. I was getting a bunch of crap. And nobody's not looking and listening. They just arguing and having a conversation about, I don't like this one and I don't like that one. And it's not even about that. You're going to lose everything you have. You're going to be right back where you started. Because when you hear reparations, how many people, when you talk about reparations, and they talk about reparations, like the man out in California, he changed his mind about the reparation thing.
He said he don't think it should be in the form of money. So you have to watch them too. You watch those liberal people, how liberal they are when you looking at them when they doing stuff. You take them on The View. You take them on anywhere they doing the show together. Listen to how the conversation they have. They can't even, the Republicans, they so lost when it comes to Trump. But then you find them liberals, they can't even say the word putting him in jail like they were doing Hillary Clinton. It's just like Hillary shouldn't have been in office. That's why people didn't go vote for her, because of the way she was. She would have been another Donald Trump, but in another light.
I don't know about that after in hindsight now. I don't think she would have been as bad as Donald Trump.
Yes, she would.
Donald Trump. I don't think she would have been as bad as Donald Trump.
She would have been just like Donald Trump. And all Donald Trump did when he went out, so people keep saying, what if he become president again? If he become president again, what you think going to do? Get all those people out of jail that he done pardoned the first time, pardon them again so they can do the same thing all over again. Crooks.
Well, if America elect Donald Trump again, then there's something wrong with this damn country. He done showed us what he wants to do. He wants to take over this.
So they're not going to let him be, because the Democrats are afraid that if he get back in office, he ain't gonna have no pity on them like they got on him. He ain't gonna have no pity at all, because he'll lock them all up, even if they right or wrong. And I said, I'm so sick of him walking around here trying to act like he ain't committed no crime. If he didn't want to go sit on the oath and prove it.
Well, he's a registered sex offender now.
Well, I'm saying, but he need to go sit on the oath.
Is that for real, Tyrone?
That's wrong.
Well, no, he can't.
Is that for real, or is that a joke?
Like an everyday
that
citizen.
Was a joke. He don't have to he don't have to register because he found civilly liable. So okay. he don't have to register.
Well, everybody still knows
he would have to register.
So that's my thought, in my opinion. And then when you hear somebody bring a Yana Vance, whatever her name, and all these people, all they doing is making money off of people listening to them and listening to them. And I heard one say, she said a mouthful. Let her say the wrong thing next week. They gonna hate her.
You said that right.
And I'm saying, if the woman, whatever she was, if she don't want a bus driver, she don't have to have one. That's the end of the question. They got nothing to do with us and your everyday life neither. So that's what I think about that situation and that subject. And I wish people would have a show and not. I mean, I guess since you don't have enough guts to have a show, you got to play clips all night long. And we got to listen to the clip, but you can't comprehend what you done played on the clip or give somebody else the opportunity to give opinion what you thought about the clip, because you don't have one yourself.
You talking about ABC?
Yes.
Oh, I don't even know what he be playing over there on Saturday. Sometimes I see.
I mean, we hear clip after clip after clip. I'm gonna say, where is his thought? That's what I want to know, what his thought about stuff, not playing somebody else. He don't have Tucker anymore, so I guess we're going to hear somebody new. And that new man is just over there on Fox, whoever that one is. He's not talking about nothing either.
They replaced Tucker Carlson?
Excuse me?
Did they replace Tucker Carlson?
He went to Ayana.
Oh.
Yeah. But we get tired of listening to clips. That's not no solution. This is Talk Real Solution. You find a solution to stuff and stop complaining about women and stop complaining about the clips that you played. But what are your ideas on them clips you played? I'll be waiting for an idea to learn something. I don't know, he play all these people, all they do is like that making money. They want people to go there and listen to him so they can throw some money at them too. So that's what I get out of that. When I do wake up and it's still on at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So that's my opinion. Everybody have one. So if it counts, it do. If it don't, it don't. And everybody's opinion is not the same. I like to hear conversations and where you can learn stuff. Oh, Tyrone, you're Rowood's son.
The what now?
The one that did Rowood's son. The one that did the White House the dinner.
Yeah, Roy Woods Jr.
Now you want to hear somebody? His father was something else.
Oh, his daddy?
Yes.
Was he a comedian too?
No, he had a radio station. He was a professor.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yes. But I used to talk to him all the time. And he was really, really, really something else. When it came to history and everything, Constitution and all that stuff, and he laid it down. And all the stuff they're arguing about now.
Intellectual?
Yes. Not really. Well, in a way he was, and then I've got to see if I can find my tapes. If I do, I'll send so y'all can hear what he had to talk about. And it was very educational for some of these lost people that don't understand what's going on. So the things that they talk about today, back then, he said it, and you would think he was here today to be talking about it now, but he's gone. But it said you can't see the forest for the trees, and a whole lot of them can't see the forest for the trees. And that was his main word. The forest can't see the forest for the trees. Some people got to get the trees out the way so they can see the forest, and then they can think for themselves and not let people think for you. So ABC can get mad and jump up all up and down and flip around on the floor, whatever he likes to do, because he don't like what I got to say, but that's not my problem. That's my opinion. Okay, that's all I had to say. I got to go. Talk to you all later.
All right.
All right, May. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Gigi, what you gonna do about all them immigrants they bringing up there to New York?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
Man, they're taking them to the suburbs now. Now it's really getting real. I do not know. They're only sending them up here because we're a sanctuary city. So there's no. Eric Adams, the mayor, says that they're only shipping them to black mayors, which I never thought of before.
That shit is a big mess.
Well,
So
I told y'all because of Title 42, Trump created a bottleneck of immigrants, and now that thing is lifted, now they saying, okay, well, shit.
They don't want to fix it. They could put the pause on that shit and say, listen, you know what? We're going to stop everybody from coming in. Everybody. I don't care if you're European. I don't care if you Latin, Asian, African. We got to put the pause button right now. Reevaluate what we need, who is a priority, who's not. Before we bring them here, you got to have a place for them to stay. Not no damn hotel. And inconveniencing people to a certain degree, unless other people are willing to take them in. You know, so this is a problem, man. This is a problem. You can't. It's like you're gonna move in your whole family in your house, like your whole generation. Like Tyrone, one of your family members. Oh, I need a place to stay. All right, cool. You fill up all the rooms. Now you got more family members. Are you gonna fill up your whole house with your whole family, bro?
Right.
Come on now.
I'd like to say something because the hotel owners love it because they're gonna.
They get money from the government.
But the neighborhoods that the hotels are in are going to be, really wrecked, destroyed, financially and otherwise. So the hotel owners can't wait to open up the place to the immigrants. I don't know what to do.
This is a ass backwards thing. They do look. I know you need workers, all right, but before you do that, you got to place them in jobs. They got to have the right paperwork, or they got to have access to that job.
I'm fucked up because how can they take care of these immigrants and they got this homeless problem in the United States of America?
That's another thing. We got a problem in New York City. They got to resolve that. Look, I get it. You got to try to accommodate, but. You're not going to move in everybody in your house, even if it's your family, maybe for a short period of time, but if they're going to, they don't got a job, they can't work, you're going to have an issue with that. So I'm just saying it's getting too much. They're going to have to put the pause button, and then they've got to give a message, a better message, because there's people that's over there on the other side that's telling them, no, you could get through. They're giving them fake papers. They're doing all type of scams to get people to spend money, and then when you get to that border.
Every 5 minutes, Fox News is yelling that we got open borders. They've been broadcasting we got open borders for years. You think them people don't hear that?
Will this come back to bite? Right?
Well, wait a minute. Open borders, but Donald Trump built the whole wall. He said it yesterday, right?
Oh, Lord Jesus.
What happened? Which one is it? Did he build the wall or he didn't? Because Fox News is saying, like, oh, well, there's open borders. What happened then? That wall wasn't completed? Well, Donald Trump yesterday said on CNN he did the whole wall.
That whole side is just quacky, man. They lie.
It's contradiction.
Do y'all have sanctuary cities there in South Carolina?
Oh, I don't know. I know there's a lot of Mexicans down here. So I don't know if it's a sanctuary city or not. But there's a lot of people that's Hispanic down here. But there's a lot. Everybody working. Seems like everybody working.
That's the thing. They got to place them somewhere. You can't just have people just building tents when there's already tents there. Like you have homeless people there.
That's
like
the
extra
thing, right?
shit.
Listen, that's the thing. I just had my roof replaced, right? So I know it ain't no left wing person that own this roofing company. So they probably support Trump, and they had all of these dang on Hispanic people working for them. So they screaming about the. You get what I'm saying? They screaming about they don't want no migrants over here, but the right wing people
But
are hiring these people to do these jobs. So they
Yeah.
full of
meanwhile, they
shit.
got Carlos fixing your roof, huh?
Yeah.
This is crazy. The contradiction. Well, they like cheap labor. This is the whole thing. They like cheap labor. They want people to come in here so they could do. It's us, the regular average person that it affects. Another thing, this politician said it, or somebody that's an expert in with immigration, how that works. He said, listen, they do not really regulate these corporations. They give them fines here and there, but they're not inspecting these locations like the way they should be if they really want to crack down on these corporations. Why? Because the corporations are also taking care of the politicians to keep them away. It's the same game like the tech world. Tech world with the social media, they're like, listen, we're paying you, stay away from us. Leave us alone. Yeah, scold us in Capitol Hill, that's the worst, but, that's it. You're going to leave us alone, no laws are going to be passed. Same thing, people screaming immigration, but those corporations are not being cracked off for hiring. People like Donald Trump that has immigration or third-party companies to alleviate themselves from liability is they'll hire, they subcontract. They're not responsible when they subcontract a company that has immigrants in it. So that's the little, crack that they able to weasel through. So again, they're not going to crack on it. People like Donald Trump that owns hotels has, I'm pretty sure, illegal or undocumented workers working, cleaning the rooms in the back, and doing the carpets and everything that you could think of that's hospitality. I'm just saying there's a lot of contradictions. They want one thing but don't want to deal with the other.
Wait a minute. Don't forget when Trump was running for president, he had to pay off all of those immigrants that he was paying minimum wage to at Mar-a-Lago before he could go ahead and proceed to run. So, like you said,
and he fired some of them too. So that goes to show you because he got the heat over him. So he wanted to play like, oh, no, we found that out and we're going to take care of it and fired all those people. He knew those people were illegal. It's sad that he even fired them to make them an example for his own benefit as usual. It is, again, we have an immigration problem, but it could be done right. But they don't want it. The Democrats or the Republicans don't really want to tackle this issue and fix it.
And don't forget all the people cooking the food and back in the kitchen and the dishes and all that kind of stuff.
Five-star hotels, five-star restaurants where you consider fine dining, where you eating $100 steaks and up. Yeah, you're gonna see Carlos in the back preparing that steak and a sous chef. A lot of times they can't afford to have a big chef in there, so they might have one guy that's a chef, he's certified, and then the rest is
Carlos. Wait a minute, Carlos is making soul food. Carlos is
he's doing everything.
They sure do.
Chinese.
They'll make anything. They'll cook anything. I've been to every kind of restaurant, and there they are. They in the soul food restaurant. They in the Japanese restaurant.
He cooking Jamaican food. He got a Rasta wig on.
Oh, you know what?
Okay, they will cook anything.
No, serious
they will
though. They out there. You're right, because I've seen it.
The Rasta wig that's connected to the hat.
That's a joke. I'm sorry.
That's horrible.
No, but they learn, and again, who teaches them? Those people, and to a certain degree.
There's some Chinese folks that got this very popular fish restaurant, and it'd be a line full of folks. They frying that catfish or all that fish.
Oh.
They have gumbo and they got burritos. Okay.
Well,
and they got Carlos in the back cooking too.
Listen,
okay. That is a husband and wife. Okay, that's on that restaurant.
It's bad. It's bad when you got Bruce Lee that owns a Chinese restaurant and he got a Carlos in the back. He don't even pay his own Chinese people, which they pay a lot of them. little. So if you got Carlos in the back, wow. So they're really trying to economize. And again, even the Chinese are trying to economize in their Chinese restaurant, whether it's upscale or the local little Chinese spot in the hood. So let's be real. That got to be addressed, and really from the top down with that. The top down in the sense of corporation going after them and doing, because again, they say they don't address that. They rarely give them fines. They do not follow up. They do not show up at the sites to see who's working there. Just like it was discovered a few days ago that they had underage migrants working in some of these places. What are they doing about that?
Nothing.
I don't know. It's all about that money.
Well, yeah, they don't want to get rid of these people. And listen, I remember a time when you could go to the grocery store and you didn't see nothing in Spanish. You didn't see no Spanish signs. You didn't see none of that stuff, right? So at some point in time, this country was preparing for an influx of people who speak the Spanish language, because that's what you see all the time now is the Spanish owls, the Spanish language, and Spanish signs, Spanish at the doctor's office. So they don't want to stop this migration. They knew it was going to happen at some point in time.
No, they don't want to stop it. And all of the fast food restaurants here, that's all who work in, when they used to be the jobs for the kids in high school, all the fast food restaurants, nothing but them. The only place, and this is funny, the only place that you'll see white or black young people, fast food restaurants, is Taco Bell. But all the rest of them, I'm serious, Taco Bell.
Yeah.
But all the rest of them, the McDonald's, Burger King, all of them, it's them. They have all the fast food jobs, all of them, all of them. Because we have a huge sanctuary city, so I mean they have all of the jobs. They have all of those jobs. They don't want them people gone. That's why I don't pay.
They're laborers. Right now, they're building buildings here in the United States. Like they're not the main guy, but they have a lot of them that's working. And you know that they you know, if they here on a term visa is one thing, but I'm just saying that you know that in the mix of everything, and it's not towards them. It's really the corporation. You are the ones responsible. You hiring them, so they come in here to get the jobs. You don't want to pay the American. You say you claim or you know, claiming again that you love America, you care about the American. You're talking about all these immigrants, but yeah, you're hiring them for cheap labor, and you're also not paying the American the right wage. So that's why you want to pay cheap labor for the immigrants. So that's how much you love the American. As much, so it's a lot of talk, no action. If actually the action is opposite of what you're saying. Don't tell me you my brother. Show me you my brother.
Exactly. And Donald Trump and his man was running their mouth, and Mar-a-Lago got them working there.
Mm-hmm. And they always do. But the immigrant is not the enemy. The politicians are the enemies because they're lying.
That's what I'm saying.
Lying to all sides.
You know, I met this Mexican man recently who's like in his early 40s, married with 4 kids. He had to escape with his family from Mexico. He was a surgeon, and he found out the cartel was gonna kidnap his wife for ransom.
Wow.
So they had to get the heck out of there. So he's working as a translator.
Well, I mean, that's good for him. But I would like to see them allow some of the Haitians to come. America played a big role in destroying that country, and I would like to see them let the Haitians come over here, but they don't do that.
Yeah, they bias on the racism.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lady that addressed that. I don't know where it was, but I heard it being addressed somewhere.
I heard that interaction
and she
today
was saying
too,
that. You
Jay.
heard that.
I can't remember who
you
that
heard
was.
that, right?
Yeah, I heard it on the radio.
Yeah, she was saying, well, you know, what you addressing the African and the Haitian that have contributed to this country.
Mm-hmm. And the United States helped destroy Haiti, but they won't let them come over here.
And they're not helping.
Remember there were supposed to be thousands living under a bridge near the border, and the cops showed up, or whatever you call them, people on horses and with whips.
Border Patrol.
Just for Border
I think
Patrol,
they
just
sent most.
to eat. I mean, that was
I think they
crazy.
sent most of them. They sent most of them back. So I mean, they sent the bulk of them back. And then there was a lot of from what part? Forget what part of West Africa. There was a lot of them. Was all crowded up down there by at the border. I forget which country was it. Cameroonians. I think they had a bunch of them was down there at the border too. I ain't heard too much more about. They probably sent all of them back as well. So, if you're gonna let them come, let the Haitians come. You just like our country messing over in them other people's country. Mexico is corrupt, but the United States had a big hand in the destruction of Haiti. Always milling around and messing around in their politics and helping to pay and fund for coups and stuff like that. So let them come too. If you're gonna let them come, let them come.
Behind the assassination of the last prime minister.
Mm-hmm.
And the hitman over.
I don't know, but I know we as black people, we better stop this bitching online about relationships and foolishness and start to really, I'm serious, and start to tackle some of this stuff and make sure we get ours. That's what we need to do. Stop worrying and whining and bitching about relationships and who's not doing this. And I want
relationships you ain't gonna be in too. Relationship that you ain't gonna be in. Because people are talking for other people in the future and talking like if they 19, 20 years old. Stop it.
Mm-hmm.
You live in your life for somebody else. Let these young people live.
We are too focused on our community. Is too focused on the wrong things. We're too focused. Everybody got a mic on YouTube giving relationship advice. Everybody got a mic tearing down each other. And these people over here coming to get that money and get that to do what they need to do. And we shouldn't be talking about relationships and who want a bus driver and who don't.
Yeah. While they doing that, they stacking bread right now.
Exactly. They're over there stacking bread, and we caught up talking about relationships, and some new person has set up a mic, and he's the latest relationship guru. And how are you rating this person, and how's this person? And I'm sick of weave. We caught up on the wrong thing as usual. We're not paying attention as usual. So I'm afraid what's going to become of us. And then you got people out there talking about reparations. Out of my mind, them being got off of that. We have got to get it together and get our mind on something that we got to get our mind straight. For a whole week, we were talking about Ebony Williams and the bus driver. That type of foolishness. We need to get off that.
Well, you know they got to have something to talk about. These men are horny and angry. They're hangry. Hungry.
Yeah, but the women, but Tyrone, the women was fussing too. They were all mixed up in that stuff too, and yet not paying attention to what's going on. Then you got Black Mackers out here talking about when Trump say he gonna come back. Yeah, when Trump come back, I hope you is one of the first ones that get done in. I don't know. I don't know what's going to become of America. I really don't. I'm actually afraid, but I'm happy I'm not 21 because I don't know what's going to become of this.
Yeah, hopefully, I got my fingers crossed. Maybe there's another person that'll go up there and compete with Biden.
Who, Kennedy? Robert Kennedy? Come on, man. He can't even speak. That's who we got.
His face looks kind of crazy. He looking crazy in the face. No.
He's out of it.
Gavin Newsom was trying
He's
to
into conspiracy theories
and
too.
And he was trying to, not the vaccines and stuff. Just sit down. I had a lot of hope that Gavin and some of the other people other Democrats and other people who was trying to push through. But you know what happened? The party told them, y'all step back until Biden figure out what he gonna do. That's what happened. So they all stepped back.
Is Bernie Sanders too old to run?
Bernie is 80-something years old. I forget how old.
He
Hey, Siri.
I wish he would have won. last time, but I guess he might be too old too.
How about if he's the vice president instead of the president?
No.
He looks older than Joe Biden, man.
I know, but he's like he has.
Is he older than Joe?
He seems like he knows what he's talking about at least. The vice president, not the president.
Well, let me take that back. Biden 80, Joe and Bernie Sanders is 81.
Yeah.
So if Biden can do it, Bernie Sanders can. So I take that back. I did not know Biden was 80. I wasn't following that. I didn't know he had a birthday. Did they say anything about his birthday? Oh, I missed it.
Well, you just look at him move. He can't hardly move. That man taking little baby steps. He can't walk
And
right.
he looked like he's in. He looked like he's in pain. Like his face is in pain when he's talking. Like he has sleep and like you know how you look when you got a bad headache. Like I got the headache. That's how he looked like. My head hurting. That's what Joe Biden looked like to me.
Yep.
I mean, this is just ridiculous. And Trump over there standing up, bent over, because he can't stand up straight and brawling. I mean, come on.
He
This
can't
is the best we got.
He can't sit up straight. Have you noticed that with Trump?
No, he can't sit up straight. And he's bronze and his hair's sticking up and he looks stupid in the face.
Because
and
he shaped
Biden
like
looks like he got the headache.
He's shaped like Humpty Dumpty. You know, he kind of wobbles.
Then he sit down. I don't like to fat shame, but when he sit down, all his slabs are spoiled over the side of his face. It's just a mess. It's a mess.
And I don't understand why there ain't more people trying to be president. I really don't get that. I don't understand it.
Well, the Democrats told the people to sit back. Let's see what Biden's gonna do. I'm just so disappointed. I really am when Biden announced that I knew he was going to.
I wish I knew how to get in there. I would just put my name in it for the crap of it. Say, okay, somebody gonna run. Come beat Tyrone.
I mean, we don't. It's just this big old country, and all of these people. I forget how many people in the country, and this is what we down to. We back down to Trump ass again. Too bad COVID didn't do his thing back when he had it. I mean, and Joe Biden. Nobody wanted Joe Biden from jump. Didn't want him from jump. And we back down to these two again. It's sad and it's sickening. It hurts my feelings. And I feel like Sarge be over here just carrying on over Trump and tearing up Biden as if we wanted Biden.
Yep. Nobody wanted Joe Biden. I thought that was a good race before Joe Biden jumped in it the last time. He came out of nowhere and jumped in the race.
Out of nowhere. And we was looking at certain people who, it was a nice race. You right, Tyrone? And then Joe Biden jumped out of there. Everybody, the party made all them people step back. And then when people started to jump out here like last year, year before last, other people was pushing forward, doing all this talking like they was going to try. We was like, okay, yeah, I see you. People was like, yeah, I see you. Next thing you know, we ain't see them no more. Yep. The party told them to step back. And here we are back here with Trump ass and Joe Biden again. I mean,
the old guard on both ends, which goes to show you that even on the Republican side, I mean, DeSantis is younger, but he has old mindset, but they're still rooting for the older guy, which is Donald Trump, which is an old-fashioned type of guy. Biden, similar, old-fashioned guy. Older men, both parties, and this is what we have. They don't want to push a younger person in the forefront. They don't want, and like you said, with all the people.
DeSantis would ruin this damn country. He's even scarier than Trump.
You don't want him. If I had to choose between him and Trump, I declare I would have to go with Trump and hope the COVID catch him again. I'm serious. I would have to go with Trump and hoping for who's the black dude that y'all was just talking about a little while ago, the one that was dancing and he died. What's his name?
Herman Cain.
Oh, Herman.
Yeah, and I would hope if Trump was to get back in that he would pull a Herman Cain. Oh, I shouldn't say that. That's YouTube will take this thing down. I'm sorry, but
No, the Herman
but
Cain dance you talking about. Just the
yeah,
dance.
he got there and do the hurricane dance. Yeah, that's what we talk about today. But this is sad, guys. This is just so sad. And I was hoping we would not end up back here. Well, end up back here. But we still got a little time left. Maybe they'll get Trump ass out. But if Trump get caught up enough and he got to go sit down,
Well,
then we're looking at
the
DeSantis.
Republicans are too scared to even run against Donald Trump. They won't nobody say nothing against him. Nikki Haley, Tim Scott, and whoever else is threw their name in the hat. They won't go against Trump.
Nope. But if they manage to get him out with all these indictments and stuff he got going on, then we're looking at DeSantis, and that man is dangerous.
Yeah, because he is not afraid to use
To
racist
go there.
politics and implement racist politics. You can see that with the book banning and the Don't Say Gay bill
Yep.
and all of this bullshit. That would be on a national level then.
Yep. He'll have us back in Jim Crow in less than 2 years. And people are like, that none of that's going. Yeah, just think it won't. Think it won't. Did y'all hear what he was talking about as it relates to slavery and stuff? Did y'all hear that speech that he gave? I mean, just rewriting history. Did y'all hear that speech?
When was it recent?
Yeah, it was recent. I think he gave it like last. Let me pull this up and tell y'all what that fool said. He was talking about. Let me see. Let me pull it up. That man is DeSantis speech on slavery.
Did y'all
And I
ever
mean,
see?
I was good. No, go ahead.
This is a change. There was a good. You can find it on YouTube. The PBS special about Jenny and Clarence Thomas the other night.
That's
It was
that's
really
another
good.
corrupt person. Jesus Christ, they corrupt.
Yeah,
Oh, you should check out the documentary. It showed him as a kid, and you know, there's a lot of self-hatred under there. He was raised by his grandfather. He and his brother and his grandfather was very abusive. They said he would just beat them and beat them. They were kids. And, you know, really stomp on their self-esteem. He wasn't going to be nothing. He was going to be nothing more than his father, which wasn't nothing, and all that kind of foolishness. And, oh, God, he had a horrible childhood. Then somehow he was able to go. They were Catholic, I guess. And so, you know, he would go to the Catholic church. He served as an altar boy. Then he was able to go. His grandfather paid for him to go to this pretty much all white boys Catholic boarding school or something. And they ridiculed him. They teased him. They called him all kind of names because, you know, he was dark and everything, came from the country, very, you know, poor. And he had a country accent, and they would just ridicule him. And that wasn't working. So he came home, and his grandfather was so angry at him. He's a failure. He wasn't going to be nothing. And I think, did he throw him out the house? It was just anyway, he ended up in college, and he actually was part of the Black Panthers on the college campus. And Clarence Thomas. And I don't know. I think he was trying to find somewhere to fit in because he didn't fit in at that all-boys white religious school. They were horrible to him. And, so he was active in that. I don't know how sincere he was when he joined. Maybe it was really just to be part of something and be accepted. And so then, but you should see it. It showed him, like, you know, how when he changed. And I guess he decided, I'm going to be, on his mind, on the winning side. And so at some point, and they have like friends that grew up with him and went to college with him. And some were really surprised when he changed the way he changed. Because, knowing him from, being a Black Panther and that kind of thing, being part of that group on campus. And, but it showed Jenny how she was raised very, very conservative, very right wing family, who were very religious. And her father would take her to all, and her mother was very active in the Republican Party. They were like John Bircher. And, so she was raised in all that and would be taken to all those Republican meetings and rallies and all that kind of stuff because they were very involved and had some kind of positions in that party. And so she became one of those types. And I forgot how they met. They met somewhere and they clicked and they were married soon after they met. And everybody was shocked because they said she didn't tell people, like she sent the invitations out to people. They didn't know she was marrying a Black man. So when they got to the wedding, they were like, whoa, okay. They didn't know. They was like, that'd be the last person they think she would get married to. And so it just showed them and how she was very much involved in the right wing and about the monies being, given to her and about that billionaire and the trips and him on the yacht and the vacations. It's interesting. It was on, I think, on Sunday on PBS, and I saw it. It's on YouTube.
Oh, it's on PBS?
Yeah, it was on PBS.
Okay.
But it was on YouTube. I saw a little bit of it yesterday. You could find it.
I might look it up. I can't say Jenny Thomas got with Clarence because Clarence is a degenerate. He's always been a degenerate.
Oh, yeah. They talked about that too.
That's why she got with her. She's was old, ugly, horsey white woman. He was a degenerate, and she got caught up, and they got married. That's how.
You know what's up. You know what's up.
That's what that was.
Well, no, y'all gonna have to break that down to me. What do you mean he was a degenerate and Jenny Thomas? What does that mean?
He's a degenerate. Clarence Thomas, Anita Hill tried to tell the people he was a degenerate. He was a degenerate. He was trying to.
And his ex-girlfriend was talking.
Okay.
We're talking about him. He was a degenerate, and Jenny Thomas was an ugly, horsey white woman that met up with a degenerate, and he put something on her, and they got married. That's what I would say. That's all. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they talked about that EEOC when he was there and how. You're right. You got to see it. I don't want to say, but, ooh, Lord.
He was a degenerate, and the stuff he used to say, the stuff, sexual harassment stuff, and he got with her ugly ass, and they got together, and he whipped something on that ugly, horsey white woman that white men didn't want.
He did that on purpose because her family had status and money, okay? He was there. Oh, yes.
Q&A session is over. All participants are unmuted.
Was something she had never seen before, experienced before, because white men did not want that horsey, ugly woman. And he whipped something on her, and they got married. So y'all know that's what happened. Y'all know that's what happened.
Mama's boy, you can unlock your unmute your line when you want to. I know you're doing
something. I'm sorry, did they have children?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think he got a son from a previous, I think he has at least, I think he got a son from a previous relationship, but no, they didn't have no kids.
Oh.
That horse and that mule couldn't mate. It was about degeneracy. And she got used to it.
I'll check a wow.
Yeah, she's the horse and he was the mule. And they couldn't mate.
Preach.
I might check that out, Miss Lady. I might check that out. I can't stand Clarence Thomas, but I might check that out. He's a degenerate. Tyrone, how you forget that? That Clarence Thomas is a degenerate.
Yeah, every time I see Anita Hill, I just feel some type of way because they allowed that guy to get on the Supreme Court and not even listen to that woman.
Mm-hmm.
And they went through all of that hoo-ha-ha, had her testifying. But one thing I will say, there were a group of black lawyers, very established black lawyers. I think they were located in the Washington, D.C. area, and they said that this woman was going to have to go back and forth up there on the Hill and testify. And they went with her. They showed up every day. They put everything on pause. And those black men, those black lawyers, one was a judge, and they had big-time law firms. And they went with her every day. They said, because they said it was like the guard that needed to go and stand with this woman every day. I was very proud. I was watching a Anita Hill documentary. I was very, very proud of those men that they did that. They said because they could not allow her to go up there every day, a black woman, a woman by herself. She needed, in a sense, like a guard. And they went with her every day. And I appreciated those men for that. I really, really did. But she told the truth. And remember, they wouldn't even, and I was watching the documentary about that, because when all that was going on, I was young. But I figured Clarence did that. I was young. I was like in school. And they wouldn't even let, what's the guy, the Kennedy with those big heads? They wouldn't even let him ask any questions, Ted Kennedy, because that whole Chappaquiddick mess that had went on. So he allowed somebody else to ask the question because it would have looked too bad for him when it came to his turn to ask questions. So he deferred. I think maybe Biden or someone did the questioning or the talking for Kennedy.
I remember Biden speaking against Anita Hill too.
Biden was very condescending, very insulting.
Yep.
Yes. And this is white men and their foolishness. And Kennedy couldn't even say anything. He had to defer all his questions to somebody else because what he looked like asking her anything with that whole Chappaquiddick mess that he went through. I mean, it's just terrible. But Anita Hill tried to tell the people, and they wouldn't listen. I was a kid, and I believed her. Because we was watching it on television, me and my mom. And I believed her because you know why? Because my mom believed her, so I believe what my mom said.
I want to cry. Cry the way they treated that lady. I remember.
It was terrible.
And all of that stuff is Clarence Thomas is getting found out how he really is now. And people just let that. And the sad thing is, he's been on the Supreme Court for so long, making decisions for everybody with his corrupt ass.
Yeah,
you know that special's called I think Clarence and Jenny Politics, Power, and the Supreme Court. This was on Frontline.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I'll find it. If it's on Frontline, I'll find it. I might check that out. I can't stand looking at him.
It's good. It was good. As it showed his pictures, as a kid, he looked so sad. And, if he had a different upbringing with love and stability and he
probably did go through a lot. He probably went through a lot.
He went through a lot.
At the time he was coming up. And then
but to be beat like that by a mean grandfather continuously as a
sound like
boy.
The granddaddy beat the coon into him.
I agree with that, Tyrone. The grandfather beat the coon into him. But he probably did go through a lot. As a little dark-skinned black boy, he wasn't like the best looking. And I think, so he probably went through a lot. I have no sympathy or any empathy for him because look at what he grew up to try to do, to dismantle.
Oh, I know. He got ahead with affirmative action. Then he drew up the, the bridge so nobody else could get across.
Yeah, somebody else can get it.
And remember he threw his sister under the bus?
Yeah, talking about trash in her yard and all kind of stuff. Clarence, he's just awful. But yeah, he got with Jenny, and y'all know why he got with Jenny.
But you know what? How many judges, justices have been bought through the years? Because money rules, power and money, and Because now they're saying 3 or 4 other ones. Republicans have also. Mm-hmm.
They were all doing that stuff. We just happened
And
to be
so,
finding out
from the
about
local
some
level all the
of
way on up, you know?
Well, with
And his
Kavanaugh, they said they stopped those witnesses that he sexually abused. They stopped them from coming forward doing his hearing or whatever.
So who's really running the show? Is this a real democracy?
No, it's corruption, and it's corruption to keep the rich in power.
Well,
And
there's
that's
this
basically what it is.
organization called the Federalist Society that has put all those conservative judges on the bench.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's like a religious, evangelical group or something like that.
Yeah. Mhm. And isn't Jenny Thomas, was she part of the Daughters? She wasn't part of the Daughters of the Confederate, was she?
Something like that. Yeah, some kind of group. Very active.
I don't think it was
Very
the Daughters
active.
of the Confederacy though. It was something
I
radical.
don't think
It was
some other
something.
kind of
It
group.
wasn't
I don't think she was
it
part
was
of that.
something.
It was something like that
Yeah.
that she was involved. She's involved with. Yeah.
But
yeah.
check that Frontline documentary. It was good.
The Mayflower people.
I probably will watch it.
Is it the Mayflower people? You know those people that swear their ancestors came over on the Mayflower?
Mayflower. Some kind of something like that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that should tell y'all about Jenny. Thomas is a degenerate, and Jenny Thomas liked his degeneracy. That's why they got married. And only way I forgot, where do you get what's those 2 animals you put together and you get the mule? It's a horse and a donkey, right?
A horse and a donkey, yeah.
A horse. Okay, well, I take that back. Jenny is the horse. And
is it a horse and a donkey, or is it a donkey and I forgot.
Make a mule.
It's something like that.
Let me look it up. It's something like that, but she's the horse, regardless of whatever. Let me look it up.
Not playing with you people tonight, man. She is not holding.
Donkeys can be so loving and happy. I see them on YouTube. You should see them trotting over to their owners, smiling, laying their head on their shoulder.
Y'all crazy.
A mule. The donkey, and it's a donkey. I don't think they mate them. I think you have to do like insemination. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But it's a donkey, a male donkey, and a female horse.
Oh, it is. Okay.
The mule can't reproduce. Kind of slow, like it's got issues. It's not too swift.
Yeah, it can't reproduce, and that. Yeah. But they don't mate those 2. Do you know whether it's artificial insemination or do they actually mate them?
Oh, no, force them on each other, I guess.
I don't know how that works, but anyway, Clarence is the donkey, and Jenny is the horse, and they were unable to create a mule. That's what that was. So no, they ain't had no children. Those 2 are a hot mess. Oh, I'm sorry, Tyrone. Somebody liable to report this and say that I'm saying something racist or something like that. But she is a very horsey-looking woman, and Thomas looks like an old donkey fool, and y'all know it.
That's not racist. You're saying they're both from black and white are substandard.
Yeah. Mhm. And he is a degenerate because and she liked his degeneracy. So that's why they got together. But it's just a shame, the things that we find, and it's like it's nothing you can really, it's like nothing we can really do or say or,
Well, it makes me mad because people knew this. Just because this is news to us doesn't mean it's been news to the other members of the Supreme Court and other politicians. They weren't shy.
They probably know what's going on up there, and it was probably keeping it a secret.
They know what's going on.
They was probably keeping it a secret until Clarence Thomas, dumbass, spilled the beans.
Right. January 6th, yep.
Jenny Thomas.
And they paying her off. And you know what? I can see the other the people up sitting up on the Supreme Court without Katanji, other than her, the rest of them probably sitting there. Yeah, see what happens when you let them in? They screw up and they mess up. Now people finding out about our secrets.
Yep.
I bet you all of them is saying that, and you know they probably are. But it's true. They let him in, and they got sloppy with it, and we finding out about it.
But Jenny Thomas literally tried to overthrow the government. That's what she wanted to
I
happen.
know.
That is crazy.
And that's what we finding out because they got sloppy with it, and she just felt that she could be out here doing any kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And more people they decided let's dig into these two, and that's why we're finding out a lot of this stuff.
Well, I give that to the reporters and journalists. They will dig now. They dig.
They dig. You give them a reason to dig into your stuff, they will dig into your stuff. And when they start digging and stuff start falling out, you can't stop them from digging.
No, because it's public record. That's why we know all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so far, you can be black on the Supreme Court as long as you have a white mate, and you can be black as far as president and vice president as long as you're not ADOS.
Yeah. So far, yeah.
Activities, the company powered by next generation.
You're right about that. You're absolutely right. Well, guys, I'm going to get ready to go because I got to get up extra early in the morning. I got to go by my allergist.
All right, yeah, y'all kept me a little long tonight. And Sarge didn't call his loud ass in here tonight screaming.
Maybe because of that conviction. He was gonna have to talk overtime because you all were gonna bring up.
Well, he can't defend. He can't defend a sex offender. There ain't nothing he can say to defend that man.
Yes, he can.
I got a question, a different question. To the passport bro movement, you don't hear too much about them anymore.
Only time I hear about it when people talk about it. I don't pay attention to that mess.
You know, white man allegedly he copyrighted that term, passport bro, so now they call themselves something else.
Really?
Oh, they do?
Oh, I didn't hear about that. So white dude copyrighted the term.
Copyrighted that, and so now they think, some of it, they call themselves something else.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. That's actually funny when you think about it.
Yes, it is.
Funny. That is so funny. Now, one of them should taken the time and go ahead and buy it and copyright it. One of them should.
Tyrone should copyright red. What do you say? Red bottom he bitches. Tyrone, you're in the battle, man. Copyright that mess.
Yeah, Tyrone, you should think about that.
I think Cliff started that he bitch stuff.
Well, you said red bottom. I don't remember him saying.
Oh yeah, the red bottom part. Yeah.
You better get in there.
Yeah, because white people jump in there. Oh, that is actually quite funny that a white man went and got the paperwork on Passport Bros. That is so funny.
Oh, they snatched the name from him?
Yeah, that's what she was saying, that a white man went and got the copyright. He owns that now. The
wow.
word Passport Bros.
Tyrone, the coon train. You could patent the coon train and all kinds of good stuff.
I hadn't heard about that. I don't follow them, so I don't know.
It's a song.
Well, look, I'm about like Miss Lisa. I'm finna get up out of here. Hey, look, YouTube, y'all can call in to the line. You got people on here. Gigi gonna entertain y'all. Jay on here, Miss Lady on here. But
no, I ain't.
I'm getting ready to end YouTube, and I'm about to call it a night.